ability that you didn't have before, and you can fail.
Yeah, well, that's the consequence. All right. Hello.
Yeah.
I don't know what the background is. Well, let's see here. Good morning, everyone.
It looks like the anime opening thing.
It is, yeah. I picked that particular video, but obviously I'm not playing the... Actually, I don't think I'm... No, I'm not playing the... I'm just playing. Oh, man. Okay, it's the same background. Hello. Okay, you're that night. Welcome. Can you hear us? I'm not hearing us. Hello.
Well, I thought I was hearing, and then I muted it. So let me see.
Okay, no, I'm coming. Can you hear us?
Oh, okay, good.
We wanted to check and make sure. I have like a noise gate on OBS, so I have to kind of be very intentional about what I'm saying. I can't mumble like I used to. Otherwise, you guys won't be able to hear me. I only am doing that because I don't have any headphones. I should have gotten some headphones. Oh well, I'll do that later. And that way, you know, there's no feedback audio and that kind of stuff. But I did notice in the last recording that I did like sort of fall off. Like I would be saying something, and then if my voice dropped to sort of dropped to a certain level, I wouldn't be heard. Which, you know, whatever. I got my face right up in the thing, but this will cancel out any kind of keyboard sounds or like typing stuff, at least to a certain extent. But yes, hello, welcome to the Variable Productivity live stream. I am your host, Rodalist. The 2 is silent. I am joined today by Jinx Forever. I am a modeler on this project, and Jinx is one of our lead lead writers for the story of the game. And yeah. We're happy for you to have joined us today. We're going to do a nice, quick little stream where we're going to work on some models and whatnot. And yeah, that's going to be that's going to be how it is. So.
And feel free to ask whatever question about whatever's going on, or you just want to be at us. You can always send us to.
Ask questions, posit ideas about what the game's story is. That'll be fun for to hear us sort of dodge it if you're right about something. And yeah, so okay, let me know if the music is too high or anything like that. I'm going to turn it down just a little bit because it does tend to get a little bit loud here. Bring that down. It's not going to be at 100. Just loud enough to be audible. Silver. Hey, how's it going, Silver? What's up? Alright. So, without any further ado, let's go ahead and get started. We're going to continue working on Amy, as the thumbnail would suggest. And, yeah, that's going to be it. Go ahead and do a nice little cut. And once again, let us know if the music is too loud or something crazy is going down.
Yeah, let us hear my game ever. Let me know, because I don't want it to come over the screen.
Well, I'll be loud enough for that. No one will be able to hear it over the phone. Turn music down a touch, okay? Let me touch that. Move it down to...
Yeah, I literally jumped in there, so I thought it might be quicker.
Oh, I see you're joining us in the place.
I was about to go, guys, turn it down just a bit. It's a bit loud. I can barely hear you.
Okay, so it's not... Okay, let me turn you back up so people can hear you, and I gotta turn down the video itself. That's what I need to do.
Yosh. Ushoro.
Alright, so yeah, let's continue the Amy experiment. Not an experiment. At this point, I kind of have an understanding of how to make models, but... Yeah, so last time we worked on her head. We got a pretty fair distance into it. There's some things that I want to iron out. Her the back of her head's a bit flatter than I'd like it to be. It feels like not right, but I'm gonna kind of move on rather than sort of nitpick everything. I mean, that's what I do. Like, quite literally, I just sit here and I pick nits. But I want to make sure that what's on screen isn't too terribly boring. So the plan today is to spend about 2 hours to maybe 3 hours working on Amy's body, because that's the next part. And it should be relatively simple. She's just a tube with hands. Hardest parts I'm looking for are going to be her hands, because I've never really been good at hands, even though I have made hands before. So this is just going to be the next phase of my hand development.
I mean, you do catch them. Artist ever. Just, I can't do hands, bro. Join the club.
Yeah.
I mean, Roller catches them really well.
I do what, you say?
You catch them really well.
Excuse me. I don't catch hands. I throw them. In any case.
Cryo
Okay.
Mac.
Man, for a hot second,
Always just talking.
I thought
Maybe
like
not.
I saw like the tweet like in Discord this morning, and I'm like, oh, we're having a stream tomorrow. It's like tomorrow as in Monday. Am I crazy? I thought it was.
Yeah. Well, he did it at midnight, after.
Oh.
You know, there are time zones. You know, he could be correct in other time zones.
No,
I did say. Okay, so I said it wasn't a tweet. It was a message in the Discord. I didn't do the tweet till this morning. I didn't want to confuse people, and I didn't want people to miss the tweet. The tweet came out at like 9 o'clock though, so it's already like, behind the. People will be like, "Oh, you're doing a stream? I didn't realize that. Guess I'm gonna miss that one."
Man.
But it's whatever. It's the day after Christmas. People are, getting over the itis.
I mean, that's the thing. Basically, when it comes to Christmas content, anything made between like the spaces, I'm talking about like, art stuff or like anything that you make online for content, anything between like the days of like December 25th and like December 31st is basically getting sent out to probably die. You're lucky in this case because we're small.
Yeah, we're not looking for huge crowds. We're just looking for consistency. I said I was going to do a stream in 2 weeks' time, and 2 weeks' time turned out to be after Christmas. So I'm going to try to do one of these streams every 2 weeks to keep this sort of, momentum up.
Yeah.
And be consistent and all that kind of stuff. And, figured I'd finish working on Amy.
Yeah.
Or at least as much as I could. I mean, I don't expect to be done with this model today. Like, maybe the model itself, but the rig is going to be a whole other story. I still have to make her mouth, and I'm looking into different methods of making mouths so that it'll just be a better thing. Anyway,
is it like a weird blender thing, or is like are Amy's colors supposed to be like more desaturated on the model?
Oh no, this is just something I did for the rig for the last stream. I did this so that I could make a render so that people could see it and it would stand out, because it was very because if it's all like just like this, when I render it, it's kind of very samey, hard to really see. It's just like, oh, that's just what is that? That's like a blob, especially when there's no background, or if there is a background, the background is also gray. Wanted her to stand out. That's the only reason I did that. Those are not her final colors. Those aren't even those are not textures. They're just materials with pink on it. So yeah, this is just a stand-in color to differentiate certain arts. I've said what I have to say.
Right now I'm downloading Kana, so it's gonna be the first freaking game on my PS5 that I actually like, a PS5 game that I actually play, even though I've had this console for like months.
That's wild, man.
That's nice.
See here.
If the laptop you just got better than the PS5,
Just rub it in. Just rub it in.
Yeah.
Oh,
Salt in the wound.
Losers. I also thought Spider-Man twice.
Mm-hmm. So
No, I'm
but isn't that just because you're New York and that? Doesn't that just come naturally to you?
it comes naturally.
I mean,
because
that's a
he's from New York.
stereotype.
Yeah, it is. And here at Armada, we don't go for stereotypes unless they're about New Yorkers, in which case, yeah, it's open season. Let's see.
I'm British and I wake up with a cup of tea in my hands.
It's like one of,
In his
I mean, it's some stereotypes. I mean,
grafted to your fingers.
To some degree, maybe.
All right. So now I'm
Oh
done
man, I'm
staring at
thinking
this.
like, no.
right
Me and
into it.
Silver were talking about Spider-Man the other day, and about how literally almost everybody has seen it except for him, And
Yes.
now that Katon and Fractor have seen it, you are like the only person that we regularly converse with that has not seen that movie. And
No,
I
I
feel
haven't
bad
seen
for
it.
you.
Well, Fractor has not
specifically.
seen it. Oh, Fractor. Never mind. Jinx hasn't seen it. That's whatever.
I haven't
Oh,
seen it.
Jinx hasn't seen it. I
Jinx
forgot.
has not seen it. He said.
Finally.
So you just gotta be.
For real.
So we're gonna avoid any Spider-Man spoilers here on this stream.
Oh, no, we're not
trying to
talking
lose
about
viewership
spoilers.
here.
Seen it.
Yeah, no, we're not talking about spoilers, but it's like, what is it? It sucks though. Like, you guys are going into lockdown, right? In the UK?
It's not confirmed, but I'm pretty sure that we will be. Come
That would
January, I'm
suck.
pretty sure we will be. And that's why I think anyway, personally, there's no, like, truth be told, I don't really watch the news. I haven't watched the news since, like, the COVID death rate went up to, like, 100,000 or whatever the fuck. And I was like, okay, that's enough depression for one
Yeah,
day.
it's probably a bit higher than that now.
Oh, probably. I don't.
I think you was talking about the
can't
international
even-
death
I
rate,
can't
but
even-
yeah,
International death rate, yeah.
which is
I just stick to the rules. I wear my lanyard. I make sure I keep the distance and nice to customers and all that jazz. And I just shower as regularly as I can.
it's
He
important.
says I'm not showering after
Personal
2 days,
hands
but-
hygiene.
Yeah.
And if you didn't shower before, never mind. Let me not start. Anyway, that's a joke no one's gonna get because I don't make any content on my channel. Anyway, what's up, guys? It's Roadless. So Amy's body is a tube. I'm going to make it a tube. I figured the 12 sides should be enough to get
Wait,
that
this
around.
one-
Amy tube.
Are they always tubes?
Hmm.
Are they always tubes?
I mean, pretty much every time I make a character model, I do start with a cylinder, because it's an easy shape. I don't like it once it's set. Like I said, I don't do what's the word? Sculpting. And even sculptors typically start with a primitive, and that primitive is usually something like a sphere or a tube or a cylinder anyway. But yeah, like it's just the most easy to work with shape for the thing I'm trying to create.
Yeah.
I don't know, when you do a character drawing, if you were to draw Amy, you'd probably draw something similar than that would look even like this. In fact, I'm pretty sure that even Destiny, when she made Amy, I can't speak for Destiny. She probably started with something like a tube.
Yeah. You know,
so-
Jinx, you were asking before, Jinx, about my computer, my new one being better than my old one. It is better. I'm
Better
gonna
than your
need to get like,
PS5.
huh? No, probably not. I'm
It has,
thinking.
wait, what kind of RTX in it does it have? I
It
saw
does
that.
have an it does have an RTX. I'm gonna need to. I need to check it again. I can do that right now in a minute.
Computer, I don't know the
But,
stat.
Yeah, no, it has an Nvidia like a GTX.
I swear it was RTX. Like maybe I didn't read it right on there. 'Cause
It is an
both-
RTX. No, it's an RTX. It's an RTX, I think. It's GTX, RTX, whatever the letter is.
Well, it's
I'll look
RTX. Okay, so like GTX is I guess the standard, if you want to call it that, graphics card line, and it goes like, it's got I have a GTX like 970 or 980 in my computer. I keep forgetting which one it is, and honestly, it's outdated to what it is. Then you've got your GTX, which is like your RTX, I mean to say, it's kind of like, and correct me if I'm wrong here, because I might be incorrect. It's got like a starting at like a 2070, but comparatively it is like a 1070. But it's got a little extra because it does real-time ray
that's at
tracing.
2060. But yeah, something around there. That's what it's comparative to. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
close.
Yeah. I'll look at it. But like it's I said this before, like last night. I was just trying to like do a bunch of random stuff. I tried downloading like Sonic Generations off of my Steam page because like for years that game had run at like 10 frames a second on like my older computers. And I'm like, this will be able to run that probably.
Yes.
I tried to open the game. And then Steam, and I tried like multiple, like what were the suggested solutions to my problem, but apparently I tried launching the game and it's like, oh, it's missing like an MRC whatever, like DLL file or whatever it is, and it won't, and I can't run the thing.
That wasn't on like. You couldn't download that from Steam? Like, they don't have that?
I can't play a decade-old game.
Well,
Gotcha.
remember, how did he do it? Did you download it again just now, or did you?
I downloaded Steam. I downloaded Steam on the new computer, and then I downloaded Sonic Generations, and it was missing those files. Apparently, for whatever reason, like a DLL file.
Look, you downloaded
okay.
you downloaded it from Steam. Shouldn't it be on the Steam? Like Steam shouldn't it be included? Like everything it needs?
Apparently
everything
not. I
needs to be
uninstalled
there.
and reinstalled it like
weird.
3 times.
Maybe you can go online and look for those
that's
specific
not the
things.
computer. That's not your computer problem.
That's
probably.
that's Sega's
That's
fault
not
for
like
not
a
including that stuff.
That's yeah, or
Because
it's
Steam...
trying to do something that
Go ahead.
it doesn't have permission for. Maybe. Yeah, that would be a weird problem.
Yeah, like it's missing like a DLL file or whatever, like 2 of them apparently. It's missing 2 separate files because I can't run the configure thing. Because if I can't run the configure thing, if I don't run the configure option, even if it has like defaults built into the game, if you don't load the configure application first, you're not allowed to run the game. And it's missing DLL files in Sonic Generations, so that game's just kind of dead.
Odd.
I mean, the game's been dead for like over a decade, so I mean, let's be honest.
I tried like
who actually
I
still
tried
plays
like
the game?
downloading. Apparently it's like an issue that people have run into before. So I downloaded like
Sonic
some
tuber
separate DLL
existence.
files from like
No, I was responding to what Silver had asked. Go ahead.
Oh no, I downloaded like 2 separate DLL files from like apparently like 2010 or something, and they're not there. So apparently, okay, I guess it's not a computer thing. That's Sega's fault for whatever reason.
Well, I was just gonna say, like, does anyone else actually genuinely, unironically, still play that game that isn't
Yes.
making content for YouTube? Like, let's be honest.
Sure.
I mean, yeah,
Plenty of people
there's
do
like
it.
a billion
Consider
mods.
this,
Not a
right? The
generation,
people who
that's kinda-
make the content for
it's good,
YouTube are making content for people who want to watch that, who probably also play that game. Like, it's a little,
Like Sonic
I mean,
Generations.
if you, okay, let me be more specific. The base game itself. Mods is another thing entirely. That's Willy Wonka's Chocolate Factory for Sonic players, okay? But the base game is like you play. How many levels is it? Like 20 odd levels, and you're done. Bob's your uncle. You don't even have to try for the Chaos Emeralds. It's literally beat the crap out of someone and Bob's your uncle. You got it. Done.
well, I guess it's.
I mean, like,
if
it's a good game. That's what makes people keep playing it.
I
It's
don't
like,
even doubt that for a second, but I'm just saying, like, you know, who actually still plays the base game?
I'm sure a lot of
unironically
people.
in the year of our Lord 2021. A decade
I think
later,
it's
that
here's the
isn't
thing,
making
right?
content.
I mean, hey man, there's a reason why Sega still used those Sonic Generations assets for that Steve Aoki concert.
well, that's because that's what they had on hand, and they gave them the
Yeah,
Steve
yeah,
Aoki.
they'll use that
I
horse
think that's a
crap.
bad art.
No, but like, but yeah, no, the game is like, it's probably because of that PC port, not just the mods, but the fact that people can play it on most modern PCs, except for my own computer for some reason. And what's it? It's because of that game's quality that people still look at it as a recent release for the Sonic franchise, even though it came out 10 years ago.
That's more of an indictment of the fact that the quality hasn't improved in those
It
years.
was 10 years. It came out in 2011. That's right. Sonic Colors came out in 2010. Yes. I keep forgetting that that's the order it came out, despite Generations having a Colors level. I keep thinking Generations came first, then it was Colors. No, it was the other way around.
I'm way wrong about this. This is too low. Bring it up. Bring it up. Bring it up. Bring it up. Bring it up.
Bring it up.
Mm-hmm.
Bring it up, Charlie. Mister.
Let's see. Oh, it's fine.
Wait, okay.
You know-
So has Amy had a redesign?
In our game, yes. Yes, he has.
Since when?
I've been like so out of the loop for like what feels like an eternity now. I don't even know if I even recognize the project itself.
Well, I mean, I don't think that much has changed since you, like, the design for Amy has changed, but ultimately I guess her reasonings for being on the island, maybe you weren't there for that. But,
Now I think I left the writing team at that point.
yeah. But, yeah, largely the project hasn't changed very much. Like, maybe in weight. Like, so you know what? I wouldn't know. We'd have to actually talk about what you remember from the project.
I thought you were like, I
No,
wouldn't know.
no,
I don't know the
That's
story.
not the project.
You're
It's
I
like,
don't
hey,
know
what's the last
project.
thing you remember? Oh, we changed the title of the game. Yeah, all right, buddy.
No, the last thing I remember, we did a couple of rewrites. Reasons for being on the island. I know, without giving
Oh my
spoilers,
God, that's
I know
a
there's
while
Careful.
ago.
couple people here and there. I know there's some subplot regarding those other characters, those side characters. And the main goal at the end is just to beat up the bad guy and Bob's your uncle, time and space, diddly doo dah day.
Well, there's nothing
I mean,
really involving time and space.
That's
I'm not
vague
sure,
enough
sure.
for that.
But I guess so. But I mean, if you want to just do it in broad strokes, it's most games. Like, yeah, it's. But
Well, yeah, because if you go any more, that's going into spoiler territory.
Absolutely. So, yeah, well, we can talk offline about what has changed if you actually care. But the thing is, the design for Amy has changed, but
Okay.
who Amy is as a person has not. So everyone, all the
Okay.
Amy stands out there should be. Actually, I have no idea how they're reacting. They'll probably
Did you
be
still
fine.
own her own? Did you still own her own like fashion shop?
Are there Amy stands?
Well, are you asking that question seriously or ironically? Have you been around the?
Very fast question.
I don't. Okay, so this doesn't line up. That's just all there is to that. I need to move her body
Yeah,
up.
but no. Are there Amy stands? I mean, that's true. There's stands for every character. There's an Elise stand out there somewhere. There's somebody who's standing the captain from Sonic 06.
Okay,
Definitely.
question. What does standing even mean? Am I just old?
Super fan, right? So there's a song. You are old, but also this is an old reference, right? To stand something.
Okay.
Have you ever heard of the? I don't know if you're familiar with Eminem. The
Vaguely.
Slim Shady, whatever.
I didn't know
Um,
this was even a reference to Eminem.
It is a reference to Eminem. There's a song that he made
thought it
called
was just-
Stan.
I thought it was just like a reference to like, oh, Stan, as in like shorthand for like standing for somebody, as in supporting.
Well, that is a thing you are supporting, but the thing about Stan, the spoilers for the song Stan, you should check it out. It's a pretty good song. Is it's like a rap artist, Eminem, having a pen pal, like, you know, an actual like written letter correspondence with a fan of his named Stan. And Stan is a crazy person. He's a really, really big Eminem fan. He names his kid after him. He's like Marshall Mathers, right, and that kind of stuff. He does all this kind of stuff. He loses his mind in the end and drives off of a bridge. But he's just such a huge fan of Eminem. And he gets mad about the fact that Eminem doesn't immediately respond to his letters. Of course, this is back in the day when I guess letters were a viable way of communication. Eminem is an old rapper. The fact of the matter is,
Yes.
but yeah. So like, if you check that out, that's the idea of behind Stan. It's been co-opted and reused in different ways. But a Stan
Holy
is a super
crap,
fan, a
like,
huge fan,
I
like
didn't
a
know the word.
rabid
I
fan of
didn't know
something.
the word Stan had Eminem lore.
It
Yeah,
does.
I just knew it was kind of like simple.
You would have thought Eminem actually
similar
I
if
thought it
you-
was like
the
a
internet than
subsidiary of like. I thought it was like a subset of like simp.
No.
I was
It
almost
predates
said that,
Simp.
but I think it's similar to like fanning, like fanboying.
It's a
Oh,
fanboy.
Yeah,
It's what it
he used
is.
to make-
That's just what I got from it, but
it's a
I
Like,
Stan.
guess
if I say, for
the
example,
Lord-
I stand Toad, I am like a massive fan of Toad.
Did you say Toad or Toe? What did you say?
Toad.
Yeah, Toad. You're a huge, like you got like Toad posters on your wall. You're like
Oh,
naming your
cool.
cat after
That's
Toad.
freak-
Not saying that that's exactly what you do. It's more in jest when you say I'm a stan for something, right? It's not like usually real, because the character of Stan was fictional. But
tea. I love tea. I have tea on my wall, tea in my lungs, tea in my
in your
my
lungs,
stomach.
I'm
Bro,
drowning
I
in a
just
pool of
pour
tea.
into my ears, but all I can hear is tea.
And my
Yeah.
every
All I can
waking
hear
thought is
kettle
tea.
burning in the morning. That's
I mean,
just my,
so
that's
we're-
my daily. That's my medication right there.
So where do you think the line is drawn between fan and stan?
I don't know, man. It's entirely just. I don't think. Whatever. It's not. It's like I'm a stan. I really like this thing, but you really don't mean it in that way. You're like, I'm crazy for this thing. Like,
Well, you're a Sally Acorn stan.
yeah, I would be a Sally Acorn stan. I'm a huge fan of Sally Acorn, and I don't care who knows it. Right? It's just But it is that kind of thing. It's like I like this.
Of
This
course, you're
thing.
not. Of course, it's always an over exaggeration because
It's-
you're not
yeah.
going to drive off a bridge or.
I will not drive off a
Oh,
bridge
yeah,
for
no.
Sally Acorn. Not yet.
Man,
Not until she's announced
definitely a
for the
Spider-Man
Sonic
fan.
movie 3. Then I'll drive
Right,
off
right.
a
She's
bridge.
announced, and then she's like terribly written, and you'd be like,
I'd be upset about that. Yeah.
"You'd never do that."
Oh man,
I would
imagine if they bring
drive
in
my
Sally
car
Acorn
to
and then they make her like. Imagine if they bring in Sally Acorn and they make her like the stick in the mud, high tech, like logical, like butt of every joke that Sonic makes fun of all the time.
That would be weird because they already have a perfectly good Tails for that.
Yeah.
Like we don't have to
No, the mandate is that Sally Acorn has to be unlikable.
That would be very strange. That Paramount would then just start deciding to take any kind of cues from SIG.
Oh no, I'm not talking about Paramount. I'm imagining if she was in the comics.
Oh, well, that would
We
be
have
odd.
to. They have to be unlikable. We want to make our characters. The
We want
mandate
to
is
make
that they're
other
unlikable.
characters more likable in comparison, so we have to make this other character less likable.
Yeah, at Project Armada,
Yeah,
we
because you
don't
think about-
endorse- we don't
I mean, you think
endorse
about
bullying of
Sonic
any
for, like-
kind.
What did you say?
I don't know. What did he say?
I said here at Project Armada, we do not endorse bullying of any kind, of any sort of stereotype or any form of person here.
Except for New Yorkers, like I said earlier.
Yeah.
Except for New Yorkers, yeah, go eat your pizza.
They had it coming.
fucking New York and fuck.
Me and Katon gave this project a bad rep.
Yeah,
I'm thinking-
just by being a part of it or in relationship to it. It's like, you got New Yorkers on your. Come on, man.
Ugh.
Fucking walking
Go
over
back
here.
to your Marvel movies.
Oh my gosh.
Do this. Let's do this as delicately as possible. This is how many sides?
Oh man, I'm thinking like.
You're
Is
always
there any particular
that's the
like?
scary-
I know none of us have the answer to this question, but in the Marvel universe, I wonder if it's ever explained why like 90% of all things that happen on Earth are just in New York City. Not even like the state of New York, just
Because-
New York the city.
That's where
That's,
it's a big city, a lot of people, big buildings,
Very
so Spider-Man can
possible.
swing off of them. Even if the story's not about Spider-Man, it's about Wolverine. We need big buildings just in case we need Spider-Man to come and swing off of something.
And you
Why
know,
not go to
there's
Chicago or
the
something?
movies. Well, the movies are made in America, and we like to make believe that our important things happen here all the time. So
Unless it's like some sort of romance or racism story. In that case, it takes place in Texas.
Or it
Lots
takes
of
place
shit.
in New York, like in Gangs of New York. Or
No, that's very true. Very true. Very true.
In a big budget Hollywood America movie, you're either in New York, Chicago,
or we're blowing up London
Los
for no
Angeles,
reason.
or someplace in California.
It's really kind of like I can't imagine what that would feel like in another movie. Like I don't like that.
It's like Spider-Man goes to Chicago. It doesn't really change anything, but it still feels weird.
Sounds like a free
It's not
comic
from
book
there.
day comic.
Never mind.
they
I
did
was
have
gonna
a
make a
movie
rep.
where Spider-Man went to Venice.
Spider-Man goes to Chicago.
That's true. He did go to Venice in Spider-Man: Far From Home, and then everyone's like, I don't like this movie.
I like
It wasn't
the
because
movie.
of any sort of
Oh,
writing thing.
place I don't
It was literally
like. Yeah.
it was just
Oh
because
my
he wasn't
God.
in New York.
Comic Where
Oh,
Wasn't in New York.
there's a comic where Spider-Man gets stuck in like suburban America, like a whole comic where he needs to make his way home and he can't web swing anywhere. So it's like that scene from Homecoming,
Uh-huh.
but like a whole day of his life.
No, see, that's an interesting concept. It's like, okay, what are you supposed to do without like the main thing Spider-Man's known for?
I mean, you know,
swinging
he's-
around like
I mean,
he's
that's the
nobody's
thing.
business.
Spider-Man's got a lot of like abilities. It's like, yeah, he can't get away around as quickly. He's gonna have to take a cab or a car. But that's where all those little merchandise toys come from. Where Spider-Man has like a web-themed motorcycle. Like this is what he uses.
This
it for.
is why Peter Parker got a license despite living in New York. It's like just in case I'm in some type of non-building area,
And let's-
I just need to be able to rent a car.
I find myself in a non-building environment, like
I
upstate
want
New
to
York.
say, I actually recently rewatched all the Raimi films, and I watched the second film for the first time in the 18 years of his existence.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, I didn't know this because this was actually because the first film was my introduction to the whole like web coming from the wrist thing.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was how it was back in the 90s cartoon. So when I saw it in the Raimi film, I was like, okay, that's normal. Apparently, it's a whole big controversy and the fans hated it.
I
So when I see a
remember-
cartridge in the Amazing Spider-Man, I'm like, what's with the cartridge? It came from his wrist last time. Isn't that just redundant? Because from the wrist, it's like constant. Whereas the cartridge, it's like it's an energy. It's not an energy source. It's a resource that can deplete. Whereas from the wrist, it's just constantly there. No plot contrivances.
Okay, so obviously not gonna go into it from a recent movie or anything like that. But yeah, I feel where you're coming from, because honestly, that was my first time. Like, I'd seen Spider-Man cartoons and stuff like that. I had never really thought about any of that stuff before, but when I first saw the Raimi movie, that was my first exposure to Spider-Man. I always thought it came out of his body. And when I saw other versions of it not doing it like that, I was like, oh, that's weird. Why did they change it? But they didn't change it. They changed it for the movie.
Like, he's Spider-Man, right? He's Spider-Man. He can crawl up walls. He can shoot webs out of his body. That's what I assumed as a child.
Right? His fingers, like they showed in the Raimi movie, had little hairs on them. Like, he had that in his body, so all of it was his body. He is changed. But apparently, the only thing that he does naturally is stick to things. Right? That's not...
And spider sense.
And the spider sense, right. So, like...
And he's really fucking strong.
Yeah, he's also very strong. Like,
it's
it
like,
changes...
what can you do? Just those two things. But they're really good.
And then, like, it's just interesting to imagine that, like, and it makes a little sense to say, like, oh, it comes out of my body, so I can use this way. Like, but what made Peter Parker think, what if I swung from place to place? Why don't I make some nifty wrist gadgets that allow me to swing?
Yeah.
Like, what made him think of that?
I mean, no, there's a reason why. There's a reason why. Because Spider-Man in comics and most media was made as a flashy, like, wrestling, like, gimmick. So he made the web shooters as like a gimmick, so that he would look cool and stand out against other people.
Oh, okay, so that actually does light. Okay. Hey, Mr. Quibi.
Oh,
just
that's really cool.
Hello, PJ Squared. Happy holidays. Hey, happy holidays to all of you.
Happy holidays, folks.
Oh.
But yeah, no, in the comics, right, like, he makes the web shooters specifically because, like, oh, I need to make something to stand out against all the other, like, opponents and everything like that, so he makes the web shooters.
A human spider.
So he can brand himself.
Okay, I mean, I guess that's that's it. It's just... Okay, I mean, I guess it works as, you know, a story beat. Obviously... I'm not going to sit here and quibble about, wouldn't it make one? It doesn't matter. But at least it has, like, a basis in something that he wanted to do.
I mean, no. Spider-Man having the web shooter should be completely, like... That should just, like, kick him out. Like, you're cheating.
Yeah, like, you're supposed to be... This is about a game about grappling and that kind of stuff. You're out here actively just grabbing people from far away without having to get close to them. Yeah, that is cheating. Wait a minute.
Like... Oh, man. I'm thinking, like, what's it? Like Spider-Man, think about the organic webbing thing. Miles Morales, in the comic books at least, has the best of both worlds because he has web shooters, but also it was later found out that he has organic webbing like Tobey Maguire, but it's electrical. So he has, like, base webbing in his web shooters, but then also electrical webbing that comes out of his body that's the same tensile strength as his web shooters.
Yeah, just so happens to be. That's good.
So he's just a walking, talking taser then?
Walking, talking taser with legs.
And it's been stated to, quote, disrupt the nervous system whenever he shoots electrical webbing at opponents.
Okay, yeah, that's
right.
Deadly.
I
they should call him the Deadly Spider-Man.
Just never commit crime. Otherwise, you'll get a fucking a little shock to the system.
Yeah, no, and funny enough, a minor fact about Miles Morales that's never brought up, but it's like it's a very noteworthy fact, is the fact that, like, Norman Osborn, in the Ultimate Universe where Miles comes from, the spider that Miles was bit with was laced with traces of the Oz formula, which was stated to potentially inherit a trait, potential for immortality in its formula. So Miles being bitten by that could potentially make him an immortal Spider-Man that never dies.
And
it's never brought up.
Yeah, of course not, because it's like that's not something. Because then if you bring it up, then you're gonna have to like use it, and then like that kind of makes the character like, oh yeah, he's too powerful.
Miles' spider sense has also been like noted as being like not just like Peter's like spider sense that warns him of danger and stuff like that, like the whole precognition thing. But it's been stated to potentially warn him of threats that are incoming into the future, not just like a bordering on precognition, but it might just straight up be precognition. His spider sense is just better than Peter's. He has organic webbing, is potentially immortal, and also in the Ultimate Universe was able to break Captain America's shield with one singular punch, while in that same universe, the Hulk was able to dent it.
Okay. When we do power scaling, we really don't think about much, do we, over here at Marvel? We're like, yeah, this guy's like, yeah, he's basically Goku, but he can't fly. That's the only thing he can't do.
Like, I love that Miles is just straight up, like, he's just better Spider-Man.
Better Spider-Man.
He's just Spider-Man, but has more abilities.
I was gonna ask, like, what do you think Cryo would grow out of this Marvel phase? And then I'm like, wait a second. They're like 40-year-old dudes who are super into it too. So, like,
is that a bad thing?
I don't know.
I wouldn't say it's bad. It's just the thing that he's into, man.
Look, man, Rodolix is a 30-year-old man that likes a chipmunk.
I mean, when you put
We're
it
not
that way,
judging here.
don't be out here judging me. I will judge you back. All right, were you talking to your cat?
No, no, I wasn't. Though it did sound like it.
Hey, stop biting me.
I mean, look, man, it's like Mumble Cryo grew out of his Marvel phase. Jinx, when will you grow out of your Sonic phase? You just like Sonic.
Man, I don't want to be. I don't want to sound like I'm being a jerk. I shouldn't have brought.
Well, don't worry.
You're thinking about it too much. It's fine.
Well, I'm thinking about. Let's say, yes, I like. Let's say it. I like Tails, and I'll probably always be a fan. But
Sega doesn't inspire confidence.
I'm a Tails fan, but then Tails have got to go.
We've got to change his tails. They've got to be
really
like
use them anymore.
Sharp.
What's the actual point? 9 times out of 10, he runs about or gets in a plane. Like if the guy can fly, why does he need a plane?
It's like mostly headcanon stuff that you like from this point, you know.
It's like I like the image of you I've created in my mind.
And I like the idea of the character. I don't like exactly what they've done with it.
Oh yeah, no, that's how I feel about the Sonic franchise at this point. I like the idea of it.
It's just not very good.
Some things are just bad for life, and are just for life, and that's not a bad thing. Okay, thank you, PJ.
Yeah. Like, but it's one of those things where it's like, I have loved Marvel since I was a little baby boy, and I can grow out of Marvel. Well, not grow out of Marvel. That's not the right word. But I could imagine myself falling out of love with Marvel. I can't imagine myself falling out of love with Spider-Man. Those are two separate things in my mind. You have the entire Marvel universe on one side, and then you just have Spider-Man.
Very much. Okay, that's okay-ish. Let me see if I can. I don't want it to be freaking.
That's the thing about Spider-Man 2, where it's like, well, not Spider-Man 2 as in Spider-Man 2, but Spider-Man as in Spider-Man, TOO. Is that like, what is it? That Spider-Man, he's not often, like most time. I mean, he can cross over with like some other Marvel stuff sometimes, and characters can like bleed into his stuff occasionally. But Spider-Man is usually like isolated. Like when compared to like the rest of the Marvel universe, most of the time Spider-Man's just off doing his own thing, and he's not really like. It's not like, you know, you're reading like an Iron Man comic, and they often always bring up like, oh, this thing that happened in like this Falcon issue or something. Like, Spider-Man doesn't normally do that. He sustains himself off of his own lore and rogues gallery most of the time.
Mm-hmm. Look at from the side.
I do love the fact that, like, we talked about this before, but the fact that Spider-Man has to fake being hurt in most situations, because otherwise he'd, like, break the wrist of people that would punch his body. Like, you're not Superman. What are you doing?
Superman doesn't even do that.
the proportionate strength of a spider. So if I step on a spider, it'll break my leg.
Oh, he's got the proportional strength of a radioactive spider. So that Spider-Man, that spider was already a superhero. Radioactive. You think? No, no one's saying it. Perfectly fine. So yeah.
I think some of my favorite moments in Spider-Man history is when you just have Spider-Man reflecting. I love when writers do this kind of stuff in the comic books, where every single thing is canon, but that also means like the really stupid stuff and out of character stuff is also canon, so you can bring it up. And then there are moments where like Peter reflects on like one of the most infamous points in the comics, at least like in that universe, in the main universe, where early on in the character's run, Spider-Man was like Peter was a very different type of character who was kind of like he was sort of spiteful and not very trusting or caring or really like considerate of other people's feelings.
Like
and
Sonic.
there was
Like Sonic.
Yeah, like that. Only like there was a moment where like Betty Brant, one of Peter's first crushes, was like, you know, started dating, I think it was Ned Leeds or like some other character, and Peter was like interested in her at the time. She was one of his first love interests. He finds out that she leaves him and is dating Ned, and then he's like, fine, go with Ned for all I care. I'm sure it works great for you. It never works out for me. I hope you're happy. Like that kind of that type of stuff. It's very not Spider-Man. And when Betty comes to Peter being like, oh, I'm concerned for you because he's damaged and stuff like that, it's like, leave me be. Like, you never, like, you don't mean anything to me.
Oh. He's hurt.
It's like, it's very out of character and weird. Like, there was a point where, like, Peter was looking at, like, Midtown, like, students, looking on in like a protest or something like that. It's one of the looked at as like one of the dumbest moments in the series, where Peter looks at a bunch of people protesting. I forget what it was exactly, but just like student protesting and looking at them like, look at these ravening. Like, he was basically looking at them being like, look at these dogs, just trying to be a part of something bigger because they can't find any solace in their own life. Like,
I feel like that's probably the writer. Sort of venting some of his frustration.
Yeah.
It's like, look, man, Spider-Man is a vehicle for me. Playing.
Yeah, like there was that.
Steve Ditko's a big douche or something.
Oh yeah, no, Steve Ditko is like that was exactly that. I showed Jinx like a video that basically dived into that type of stuff. I watched it. It basically goes into like Steve Ditko as a writer and like his run on Spider-Man, as well as like his life and everything like that. He's kind of a jerk, and did vent his frustrations out through Spider-Man, no matter how in character that ended up making him. There was a moment where later on in the story, what ended up happening, or not in the story, but in the series, where Peter just references that that protest angle where he called out the students for being spineless or whatever. And he's just like, I was out in the protest once. Thought I was bigger than other people. I wasn't. God, I hate myself.
Oh, no.
I love when writers in Marvel just reference some like stupid, nebulous detail in the continuity that doesn't make sense anymore, but they still treat it as canon and be like, yeah, that's stupid.
To be fair, because of the vastness of the Marvel universe and the comics, everything is canon by default.
Yeah, they don't do like DC reboots. They never do.
I never understood why DC needs to make reboots, because they have weren't they the first to introduce multiverse?
Maybe, but like it's one of those things where it's like DC does that so they can avoid what Marvel has to do, where their characters they want to keep their comic canon, but Marvel has like what they call like a scaling timeline, where like characters that were in like World War I in like the early days of like the comics, like, oh, you're in World War I, but everything in the story still has to be canon to this day because there are never any hard reboots. So now, like, I think Captain America, instead of being from World War II, is from like, I think like Vietnam or something like that. It changed or whatever. That or like he's in World War II, but the amount of time he spends in the iceberg was longer now. So now everything can still work, but they're changing minor details, so the scaling timeline can still fit. So like the modern day is still canon with everything else that came before it. And the only character they haven't done that with is the Punisher, where in order to make sure that he's still a Vietnam vet, they made him die, and then they reincarnated him into a cyborg robot thing in the 90s, and then they had his soul be reincarnated into his base human form again, so that he can still look pristine, and like in his and so that he can still look like he's in his mid-40s despite being a Vietnam vet.
That feels like a weird overcompensation. It's just like, that's just where he's from, man. Like, we don't have to worry about the timeline being accurate to modern day. Like, how are these stories not at least just sort of maybe timeless? Like, oh, these people just live here. They live now. I don't know. Or they're recontextualized, but where they're from. I guess I can understand why it's a problem, because you have all these characters from all these different times in history, and you can't be like, oh,
I mean, that's the thing about
Spider-Man's
Marvel,
hanging
right?
out
Because, like,
with
America-
1960s technology. Now he's hanging out in modern day. Like, what? Yeah, I can see why that's an issue. But
Yeah, and they also do that because, like, the DC universe is a little bit different, where it doesn't take place in the real world. It takes place in its own comic book summation of what the real world is like. And Marvel is the real world, but with superheroes and stuff.
fair enough. That's how they chose to do it.
Yeah, and, like,
It worked out.
there are some comics that try to rectify that. Like, there's a Spider-Man one-off where it goes through, like, the entire history of Spider-Man. But like they not reboot, but they tell the story of his origin again, only this time it takes place in 2007. So now people have smartphones.
Get me smartphone pictures of Spider-Man!
I mean, in the comics, like, Peter Parker's been like 35 for like 40 years.
It's like Sonic the Hedgehog. He hasn't changed his age ever. He's just
Yeah, like Marvel used to have their comics take place in real time from like 1960 up until like 1967 or something like that, like around that time period. And it was at that moment, like it was like the Spider-Man comics and like some other stuff, I think like Fantastic Four, where they realized like, wait, Spider-Man went from his early high school years to college in 4 years because we're doing like a real world like a time scaling thing. Everything takes place in real time, sort of like what the MCU does. And it's like...
MCU can get away with it, though, because those movies are being made in a semi-real time. Take a long
Yeah,
time.
right?
Therefore,
Yeah, but in the comics,
when people
right,
get older,
like,
they're
you
just
have
going to
no
not be
control
in the
of
movie story anymore.
Yeah. Yeah, right? And when you have a comic, right, you have, like, these characters that are aging in real time, and you realize, like, people are going to die. We can't, we can't capitalize on this in, like, 10 years. Peter's gonna be like,
you can just and I kind of understand the impulse for a lot of these things to just like, okay, well, we're gonna bring in another person to take on the mantle of this character, like your Hawkeyes and your Iron Hearts and stuff like that. It's like this person is they're taking up the mantle, so like it's less of a person, it's an idea. Therefore, it's like anyone can be Iron Man as long as they're a genius. And
it kind of makes more sense in the MCU though too.
Yeah.
Because they have to do that.
They literally have to, because stuff's going to happen to the actors, things are going to happen with contracts. Nothing is going to be... Like, you can just draw a person over and over again. You can get someone else to draw that person as well. But if, like, the actor who plays a certain character quits or dies or something like that, then you've got
CGI him. They get him in a contract, and they CGI his face forever. And now we got eternal acting.
Oh, hey, Alex. There's a Mexican Spider-Man comic where Gwen... Spider-Man trade? I should probably has, but
I recently learned about the Mangaverse Spider-Man continuity where Uncle Ben was Peter's sensei and he was murdered by Venom.
Alright. That's not any crazier than any other concept that I've heard. Center?
Like it was like one of those things where like Peter was like studying under Uncle Ben, and then like he was in like his like anime rival best friend was Venom, and he also trained under Uncle Ben. But then Venom ended up thinking that he was like too powerful or whatever for like the sensei, and then he murders Uncle Ben. But now Uncle Ben's spirit lingers in Peter's subconscious and teaches him as he moves along in life. It's like that kind of stuff, and Peter seeks out revenge against Venom for killing his Uncle Ben.
Is this an actual anime, or is this somebody's interpretation of what an anime Spider-Man would be?
It's probably the latter, but
like,
it's
it
a
feels
real
a
comic.
bit too tropey to be real. but yeah,
it's canon to the Marvel multiverse.
It's the trope. Yeah.
Calm down.
The trope, the comic. Yeah.
Trope's the comic.
It's canon though, because with the Marvel multiverse being as flimsy as it often is, everything is canon.
Look, man, that way we don't have to like write anything away. We can just ignore it right now or bring it back when it seems like a good idea.
Like the Spider-Verse like comic event proves that every single cartoon interpretation of Spider-Man is its own universe. They bring in like Ultimate Spider-Man from like the 2012 Disney cartoon.
Yes, Fracture. Talk about the Japanese Spider-Man with the sort of Common
I
Rider
love
influence.
Spider-Man.
And he did have a big old copyright non-infringing. It's like they had the rights to make it, but like
they didn't have the rights to a lot of Spider-Man stuff.
Yeah, but they had the rights to use the Spider-Man in any way they wanted to.
Yeah, like you had Spider-Man, but Marvel was like, no, you're not getting to use any of our stuff.
So they're like, let's make a robot. And the thing is, they can keep selling that Jaguar robot or whatever it's called. Because
it still has work.
Yeah, because it's not directly linked to Spider-Man. Like, it's
got some webs on it.
It's got some web patterning, but that could be anything. You know, jaguars and spider webs, that goes together, right? That's a thing.
Leopardons.
Leopard, not a jaguar. I'm sorry. I'm thinking about Jet Jaguar from Godzilla. Different property, but kind of the same because it's a robot. Like, I don't understand. I guess it was just a time in Japanese media history where continuously, where big robots was just
Spider-Man was like a... It is cool to know that Japanese Spider-Man is like pseudo-responsible for the creation of the Power Rangers and inspiration.
Yeah, I found that interesting. It was like, oh, that's actually like legit, because a lot of those things are actually copied over. Oh, I was watching name of that show, Sunday Movies.
Yeah,
that's how I found out about it. Like,
there's a documentary on it on Disney Plus.
There is, isn't there? They watch that, but that's an interesting idea.
Yeah, like Japanese Spider-Man is just like one of those weird pockets of Marvel media.
Here is a Spider-Man. He uses a gun. Even all of Peter's. He's using the gun. The spider
wait,
gun.
did you talk about Superior? Wait, you said Superior Spider-Man?
That's what Alex was saying.
Yeah, that was when Doc Ock took Peter's brain.
I see. Oh, so that's what made him superior. It wasn't okay.
No, okay.
You
so
talked about this before.
Goes...
You brought this up a while ago.
Okay, yeah. You know the story?
Yeah, for the most part. You have regaled me with it a time or two.
Yeah,
and that's
like...
let's not shade us. I do remember you telling me about it.
He assaults you.
I think I think like my favorite moment from that story arc is like just when it wraps up and we get back to like Peter Parker Spider-Man, and he's fighting the Green Goblin at this point, and Octavius was having a lot of trouble fighting the Green Goblin as Spider-Man. And like the Green Goblin was like, you know, taking advantage of all his weaknesses or whatever, blah blah blah, Green Goblin stuff. And the second Peter gets back into his own body and starts fighting as Spider-Man again, the Green Goblin makes sarcastic remarks about him being like not being able to win or whatever. What dignity will he have knowing that I like destroyed your city or whatever? As like, I'll have nothing but the dignity of knowing that I didn't carry around a man purse. And then the Green Goblin just stares at him for a second and is like, oh crap, it's you. What?
Oh, he's like, he realizes that he's fighting a different person now. something up. Okay, so it's because these images don't necessarily line up. That's a little bit of an issue. We'll talk about that in the future going forward with concept art.
Have you ever seen or heard of
All you have to do is threaten her with firings. And fix the problem.
Yeah, Destiny, you coming to
How
my
could you,
office?
Destiny?
We are absolutely can't.
Yeah, absolutely never. She's awesome. Never.
No, I just noticed that there was a little discrepancy. I didn't just notice it, I noticed it as I began working on her body, but it's just, I can work around it. I get it. Her shape
and
is
the end model is all weird and disproportionate.
like, oh no.
Head. Yeah, her head's like too big. Left arm's a little long.
Well, thankfully, her arms are most likely copied from one side to the other. So I don't have to worry about that. But when it comes to, like, you know, it's mostly height, I've noticed, with the ear height being below the line on the front view, but on the side view it's above it.
Do the ears bother you, Rotolus?
I mean, they don't bother me. I've gotten over that issue. I just, you know, if you had to make a model cry based on a drawing, and you wanted to get it as close to that drawing as possible, would that concern you if the ears were misaligned, or if the waistline was not exactly in the same place? That's just a question that I'm asking. You don't have to answer it, but it's just like,
I mean, it's hard for me to judge because I live in a 2D plane. Everything's a cartoon to me, and I have no concept. I mean, I have a concept of what the Z-axis is like, but it's hard for me to imagine.
Okay, you can send it to me. Well, that's fine.
I think Cryo is joking.
I'm yes. Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. No, I'm being serious, you guys. I'm from another dimension. The second dimension. You guys talk about this third dimension, the Z-axis. I don't know what you're talking about. Everything's flat to me. All right.
I mean, would it be flat to you, technically speaking, if you had no concept of... I mean, if there's no concept of a 3D space, what does flat mean?
Well, as a three-dimensional being, I'm saying that, but you would think there would be all the dimension in the world. That's all you need to see. Just this line that I'm looking at.
Just cover one eye. And everything's flat. There you go.
Slightly orthogonal, but I guess because you've already seen it. Okay, back to work. I'm gonna let you go.
Maybe if you were born with one eye.
Thinking about Spider-Man stuff again. Have you ever heard of or seen the?
Yeah, because I'm gonna be making the models, and then we're gonna sort of share that over with at some point with.
Oh man.
Lombax. They're gonna look the same. Like they're gonna, because this was drawn by her. Tails was drawn by Katon, and you know they only look different because of the person who made the model. So what we're gonna do is, even if the concept art looks a certain way, it might look a little bit different because of the way that the character was drawn. The model is gonna be relatively consistent. The thigh width is different on this, say, as opposed to something like Scream or Domino or any of the other character drawings that Rocket Pow has done. But that's something that we can reconcile pretty easily and just sort of work on it. I hope that made sense. I'll think about my response actually and come back with something else. What were you going to say? Everyone's...
Well,
Yeah,
no, we left because you started talking. It's like, what is this garbage? Like the friggin' host of the stream trying to speak,
Trying to respond to
Some
questions.
weird.
We're supposed to go on to
kinda- yeah.
tangents. We're supposed to go on to weird tangents. That's what we do here. I got you.
And I'm looking at Amy's model. It makes her look like she's wearing like a full, like not like a full body, but like a black like latex like suit or something.
Yes, that's what Amy's wearing, a black latex suit that she's making paint.
I'm thinking, what's it? I was thinking about weird Spider-Man stuff. You ever hear of the Red Goblin?
I have not heard of the Red Goblin.
All right, so take. Yeah, I know. You don't even need to say that part. I'm just gonna start without you acknowledging it. I'm
I'm sure you're going to know.
like, what's
Regardless.
take the Green Goblin, Norman Osborn, and throw the Carnage symbiote on him.
Oh, okay. Okay. So he was already crazy. Now he's got super crazy powers.
Yeah, now
Fourth
since he has the
pillar.
Carnage symbiote, he can infect since he has a Carnage symbiote, he can infect other beings that he chooses with the symbiote, and then turn them into mini goblins.
Thank you, Fourth Noah. I did have a great holiday. For popping in.
How was your holiday?
It was lovely. I got to spend some time with my mom. We took a little walk in the park. Had some dinner. It was great. And then we
Were there any geese?
There were gifts, but we did it yesterday. I mean, the day before yesterday, on the 24th. We had like a little
No.
elf on the...
You do Christmas Eve gifts?
Geese. Were there any geese?
Geese! Oh, geese! I thought you said gifts, weirdly.
There's a running theme with you about this, and it's geese.
There are no gifts on Christmas.
There are no geese on Christmas either. They go south for the winter. Or whatever.
That's not true. I saw geese flying over work the other day.
But we do live in two different parts of the world, so maybe you got different geese. I'm just speaking from my perspective here.
Yeah, it's like it's true for both of you at the same time.
I mean, they don't move south. That'd be the geese moving east.
I'm sorry, what?
No, that wouldn't be the geese moving south. That'd be the geese moving east.
Well, there's also a north
There
and
we go.
south in England. You know that, right?
No, that doesn't exist.
Okay. Thank you for clearing that up for me. I didn't realize. Let's see.
Yeah, there's only a North and South America. There's no North and South anywhere else.
Yeah, there's no such thing as a North Pole, South Pole.
No, there's just
Equator.
no.
It's just America out everywhere.
Just America, everywhere. It's all America. Always has been.
Well, technically that's kind of true, but kind of not, because we kind of rolled the world at one point. So, I mean...
What is Canada, right? It's like a...
So, technically, it's second hand. So, I mean, all you've got is sloppy seconds, my friend.
You've only ruled the world
Canada-
because we did it first.
Yeah.
Does Canada...
We did it.
could-
We
does-
did it. It
does-
was cool.
Wait, if America's like the sloppy seconds, does that make like Canada like the
Yeah.
That's the
Let
French
them- like a-
sloppy seconds. We don't talk about that.
Wow.
Well, it's like
Seems to be consistent between you and Nex. You don't talk about the French very much.
Mary.
is that some sort of England thing?
It is. I have no opinions on French people.
I mean,
at all.
I imagine it's like my my unjustifiable hatred or fake hatred of New Jersey. It's like that.
I
I'd
guess so.
imagine.
Except for it's thousands of years old and has led to actual wars. It's just like that.
Well, no, it's no. New Jersey and New York, that's leading to a war. Just hasn't happened yet.
We haven't had our 100 years. Well, actually, that wasn't between. Never mind. Anyway,
give it
let's do her feet.
200 years,
Foot time.
New Jersey. Give it just a little bit more time. New Jersey's gonna be its own state.
New Jersey's
it
gonna be
not?
its own. That's the joke. It's not a part of America in his mind because he's a New Yorker. Let's do a foot. There's trouble afoot. Actually, I should do a dress. I should do her foot first. Let's finish her body, and we'll make
I
her clothes.
get it. You're doing the feet.
Yeah, there's trouble afoot. Yeah. Okay,
It's like,
so
I'm
these shoes.
gonna finish the feet first. I get it. You're doing the feet. Yes.
No. Ronley said there's trouble afoot
Yeah.
because he's doing the feet.
Yes.
That's the joke.
Yes.
Evil afoot.
Today is the day where everyone misunderstands each other's jokes on purpose. I don't know. So this is gonna be interesting. Her foot is like it's a shoe, but it's also a foot. Now,
It's
Are you gonna
foot.
model the blob
That's true.
first, and then like the?
Can't do it.
Are you gonna model like the blob, and then like the?
I think I'm gonna
the
model the
sandal
sole,
over it?
and then I'm gonna model the blob
Yeah,
on top
like,
of the sole.
okay. So just cut.
So the blob and the sole are gonna be the same mesh.
Yeah, our heads. Are we just not gonna have toes here?
I think there was a piece of. I think I'm gonna give her like those little kind of teddy bear toes that
Oh yeah,
that Destiny did.
Teddy bear toes will work just fine.
With the little, like the 3-toed foot thing. They're kind of
But
cute.
just giving her like curvy feet is a bit weird.
It's toe time.
She's not
Isn't
gonna
it
get-
canon that they have? Isn't it canon that they have block feet?
It is canon, but I don't like that, so we're not gonna do it.
Yeah,
Um,
I got you.
I
Yeah,
don't
just-
think
you're gonna
it's
make like
canon.
the.
Like, the closest we've got to canon feet is in the Archie comics, and they're not really a thing anymore. So
Like when you I just find it weird that a character would have fingers, 5 of them on each hand, and then no toes at all. It's just like, what's that about?
Well,
How does she balance?
maybe the Sonic characters never needed to
maybe
grip
it's when
onto anything with their feet.
Human DNA with animals, and the toes were just lost in the process.
I
Wait,
guess.
I
hang
mean,
on.
Amy and the
Toes
rest of the
were
Sonic
Archie
cast,
as well?
most of them.
Say again.
No, most of the Sonic characters are descendants of monkeys. Maybe they don't need feet.
I know that's canon to the STC universe, but I don't know whether that's canon to the Archie universe.
So what were you
Oh,
saying
really?
about the canon to the what?
DNA sort of thing.
Oh, that's interesting that's canon to the STC universe, because yeah, that's
I'm pretty sure that's where it came from.
It might have.
Because they referred to the old Bible.
the Archie universe used like this thing where there was a war between humanity and this alien race called the Zorda.
The Zorda.
They
Yeah.
dropped a gene bomb on the
Other way
planet
around.
that eradicated most of the human population, but it was a splicer. So it sort of it did 2 things. It actively sought out human genome and destroyed every human that the radiation touched or whatever. And then, because it was like a directed bioweapon. And then it also spliced in human DNA with living creatures that weren't human. So they evolved over the course of like 4,000 years or something like that to be more humanoid. So that's why they have the fingers and toes, and they're not exactly the animals they used to be, and they're not exactly human either. That was Archie canon for it. Then some humans survived. They stayed in like these shell cities to survive the radioactivity, which is why they're still humans. And some of those humans got mutated, I think, and they became overlanders, which is what Robotnik was. And then he died, so it didn't matter anymore. Anyway, so it's interesting that they're similar. So they might have used that base, the same original Sonic Bible thing. Hello, SSLAXX Slacks, I guess. Welcome to the stream. Right, we're not talking about Flimpy today, Fractor, but wait, no one knows about Flimpy. Let's not talk about Flimpy. Oh no, Flimpy.
What is Flimpy?
It's a
What's
secret.
wait? No, what's
Not
Flimpy?
spoilers.
Not like the. No, I'm not talking about Flimpy, the thing from this. I'm talking about Flimpy, the word. What's Flimpy?
I don't think the word
Is anything
means-
Flimpy here?
I don't think it's a real
Is
word.
anything here? Is anything here Flimpy? I feel like Flimpy should be a word.
Then he have claws and not toes. Well, Rita has toes. Well, I guess he has claw toes. They're claws.
Doesn't she have like heels built into her body?
No, wait, no. She just has 3 toes, and one of them is on the back of her.
Wait, she doesn't have heels? I thought of all things a character like that would have heels.
I guess we'll have to go and look at some art for Xena later.
Little did we know, there's no concept art of Sonic Lost World anywhere on the internet.
Allowed. Not be allowed. Talk. Pose. Not be allowed. They've missed some important messages. Chat about those. I have not missed any of these. I've been looking at it. Katon said no toes. Okay, wait a minute. Katon said no. Yes.
Did Katon not want toes?
Katon did not say no toes. I remember Katon was like ambivalent, I think at best, about what types of toes a character would have. Like she wouldn't have human toes, like straight up regular human toes. She'd have
Human feet.
some like
Who would have thought like
I guess we never
toe
really
feet, like Sonic feet would be like a huge contingency. Like, what the hell are they supposed to be? I don't know.
I don't know, man. Anyway, I'm gonna do what I'm gonna do, and it's gonna be covered
the
mostly
jelly
by
bean.
her shoes
Sorry,
anyway.
jelly bean.
Let's go ahead and do that now.
Does
Go ahead.
Katon know that he wants no toes?
Yeah, send a message to Katon. He gets back to you
Well,
about it.
he has access to knives and chainsaws and big.
I'm just going to DM Katon and be like, do you like toes?
Your opinion on toes, yes or no? 250. Welcome. Wow, this dragon. Let's go
Hi,
ahead and do this.
Destiny. I didn't realize you joined.
Welcome, Destiny. Welcome to the
Yeah.
Project Armada live stream. Destiny is the concept artist who drew Amy in place. Just for anybody
Yes,
who
hello,
doesn't
everyone.
know that already.
I don't think we've met yet.
You haven't? I guess not. You've been. I
Maybe.
guess that's
I don't-
changed. You were on
You got,
hiatus.
you know, Rodolith, you got to keep like a. This is important. You got to keep like a board of like interactions, like you know, like those big like conspiracy theory walls, like
Not
with the
gonna do
bands
that.
and everything around it,
We're
connecting
wasting
dots.
time.
Gotta do
It's
that?
more like an affinity board.
Affinity board.
Whatever.
Yeah, I'm not going to keep a board of those things for you guys who can just at any time talk to each other whenever you want.
Well,
it's
no,
just-
you gotta keep track of it. Who is
I'm not going to
interacting
keep
with
track
who
of
in
that.
what
I'm
way?
not. Why would I do that? That is the weirdest thing a director of a project could do. Which one of the people on the project know each other? Like, if there was like a negativity, like an animosity between certain people, and I still wanted to work with these people or those people, I can understand that. But this is like y'all could just send them DM and say hi or something like that. I'm not gonna keep track of that for you. Not a day planner.
No, I like to imagine like somebody trying to DM somebody else in the project, and Rodolith's like, no, access denied.
You can't
You're
talk
not
to
allowed
those
to-
people. You're from the earlier part of the project.
He's gatekeeping.
Out here. PJ Squared says, hi, Destiny. Oswald has concept
Hello.
art following much people. But only 2D draws. Well, yeah. Sometimes it's kind of hard to get your hands on real game concept art, because if they don't put it out there or they have it under some NDA, you'll just never see it. Unfortunate, but whatever. Sometimes, you know. Because I still want to see the Sonic 06 concept art. Like, what were they going for? What did they want it to look like?
Hey, is there? No, there's got to be some Sonic 06 concept art out there, right?
I don't know. I haven't looked hard enough.
Has to
Maybe
be, surely.
if there is.
No,
but
I mean, have you seen like the old designs of like Silver when he was Venice? I know
Yeah,
that.
I have seen those. I'm talking about like the
I
world.
think we're listening for
Soliana.
like the landscape with the characters in them to see what sort of game they wanted to produce.
Yeah, what
No,
was?
they were going for let's just make a game and then put Sonic in it. What you mean make a Sonic game? No. I mean, let's make a game and then put Sonic in it.
I really wish, because I've actually started playing the actual Xenoverse games. Xenoblade. I wish they'd make a Sonic game like that. It's a little bit like Sonic Chronicles, but instead of turn-based, it's more like active walking around and selecting attack combos and shit like that. With like chain
No.
combinations and stuff like that.
I thought you were about to be like, I want a Sonic game that looks like Xenoblade Silver. Did you not see the Game Awards?
That gave me like great like Sonic and the Black Knight vibes, and I love it.
We'll see what they
I
do with
feel
it.
like I don't know. I don't know if I'm in the minority or not, whatever, but like it's just I hate that art direction looks really bad. And it might look better if there were like, I don't know, things in that world.
You don't need things in your world.
Where are the
Eugene is
rings?
world.
Where are my loops, my rings, my springs?
Go play Sonic 1 from 1991.
You want to have
No.
all that stuff. Like, I don't. That's one of those things where I'm looking at it and I'm like, it's most likely a hub. It's not necessarily where you're going to be playing. You can roam around through it.
will be. Like
I don't know. I'm only guessing, right? I don't know anything that anyone else doesn't know. But I'm just like,
It's like if that's a
it
hub.
cannot be.
If that's a hub. Huh?
like, I just don't think that it can be that is the game. Like, I'm supposed to run
Right.
through there because it does not look interesting. Like, it looks pretty. Don't get me wrong, but that's
Yeah, but it looks dead.
anything
and
can look
boring.
pretty. It looks like there's nothing happening there, and also it doesn't look like there's very much for you to do as you're playing with Sonic.
Right?
So, like, I'm thinking, this is why I think it's likely that that's just, the overworld. And you go through there to get to your next level, and it's big enough just for that and exploration, and maybe
Yeah,
some
right.
maybe some overworld events
Nah,
happen there, like big
and
robots
if
you
I'm
gotta
being
fight. But
honest,
that's it.
When it comes to traversing the land, there's a reason why they showed that cutscene. It's just because while you're traversing, there'll be things that chase you and hunt you down and kill you. So it's not just, this is going to be a breeze, just walk from one place to another.
Yeah, no,
Or
that's like
fucking
a.
uncle. No, there'll be things that will kill you along the way.
That's like a certain thing where I'm like, I worry about that game, and it's not like a surprise worry. It's just like I don't expect the game to be bad, but it's a Sonic team and a Sega game, so I have reason to believe it's probably going to be underwhelming and boring. I'm thinking like, there's no. I look at that like tech demo trailer, teaser, whatever it was, because that was not gameplay. And like, are they not confident enough to show any form of actual gameplay? Or like there aren't like that's not even like a shot of the in-game. I mean, it's an in-game shot, right, of the world, but it's like it's not like a gameplay or like
no movement of the model. There's no
movement of the model. There are no assets. I mean, there are assets, but like just the world itself. There's no enemies. There's no collectibles. There's like that world is dead.
Well, to be fair, like it's probably like it's not coming out till next year. Like there's probably want to keep a lot of stuff under wraps.
They have given how game development usually works, from my understanding, they probably have like maybe a few more months at best to probably make the rest of that thing before they go into like finishing up the game, play testing, bugs,
coming through the glitches. And then just like, we'll just patch it all on day one patch.
Yeah, which means that footage is either from a very early... That footage is either from like a very early stage of development, is intentionally empty, or is just like a very, very big red flag.
Lost World has concept drawings and what the changes. Did they ever release any behind-the-scenes stuff for Sonic 06? Not to my knowledge. I put the Zeddy images and stuff in chat.
I mean, they did release a promo video.
Levels in Frontiers, according to some leak. The open areas looks like just a hub. I'm guessing Rodalis watched the tutorial. Did I watch the tutorial? I don't believe that I did. Sorry, let me just take a look at it. Oh. What is the chat? Oh, which chat? Our chat? Oh, staff chat.
I'm thinking, what's it? I like the idea of the Sonic Rangers thing being like a hub, like that trailer being a hub, because that being a hub means that being empty is less worrying. But if that's like the actual game, I'm a lot more concerned.
You just stand on our metatarsals with the same as theirs.
So, Jinx, Destiny, how are your holidays?
My holiday was good. Yeah, I just got to spend it with the family, so that was really nice. Yeah, so yeah, it was really enjoyable and it was really nice. Thanks for asking. How was your guys's?
It was pretty good.
It was alright.
Like I said before, I got to hang out with my mooter. We had
My mooter.
and her husband, and it was lovely. It was a great little day. And like I said before, we did our presents thing. We had like a Elfster. We did like this thing on Elfster where, because we don't all live in the same place, and my sister and brother-in-laws weren't necessarily going to be able to make it. So so we just sort of like, we sent each other gifts and we opened them on the Zoom meeting. It was fun. The Zoom call. It wasn't a meeting. I make it sound like a formal event. It was just a fun little thing we did. And I got some long underwear because that's what I wanted.
Rodolph needs those wide undies.
Long underwear. You know what I'm talking about.
Long underwear?
Thermal underwear. No?
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna say, you've heard of this.
I'm
stuff
like,
before.
long underwear, the hell?
Long underwear iced tea. The brand.
I've never heard it be called long underwear.
Well, that's what I've been calling it, so. I'm just different, you guys. I'm different. I'm special.
Just felt different.
Is it because you're from California?
Probably. We don't necessarily wear a lot of long underwear. Don't have to most of the time. Or didn't have to until I moved out here. And they called it long underwear. Maybe it's from a book that I was reading called maybe something like By the Great Horn Spoon or something. And it was just like they called it long underwear, and that's how I've always associated it. I'm not sure where the term in my mind came from, but I've never,
Wait,
or
I
long
think,
johns, maybe.
I
But
think I think about long underwear. Are you talking about like boxers or something?
no, I'm talking about thermal underwear. Like the thing with the, like it's a whole pant leg, but it goes underneath your pants. It's underwear, but it keeps you warm in the cold weather. Long underwear. 'Cause
I've
it's
never-
not like briefs. It goes all the way down to your ankles, and you got like a shirt that you can get with it that is like an undershirt. It's
Aren't those just pants?
no, they're not. You don't wear pants under pants. Do you wear pants under pants? Maybe I'm being insensitive. I've never, like, I'm not familiar with that style.
I mean, you got like a long sleeve shirt and then a short sleeve shirt over that long sleeve shirt. It's like that.
You know, I mean, that's how you do it when you're trying to look weird. Long johns, PJ. There's a two-piece top and bottom. I wear briefs, bro. They aren't long, too. They aren't long. I know, it's for cold weather. It's like you put them on so that when it's freezing outside, you don't feel it so much. It's useful for me, because I do ride my bike during the winter and that kind of thing. Not as much anymore, because I have money. I can take the metro now. But, it's really cold, though, when that wind comes at you. It's like a 12-degree day. It's freezing cold outside. The wind is coming because your bike is moving in the weather, and you want to have that extra layer of thermal protection.
My lower body is warm still.
Yeah. You want frozen? You want cold legs on a bike or anywhere?
Do you
want
want
that? No, you don't, because it hurts. I don't. Whatever. You wouldn't understand.
I'm just imagining, like, do you want ice legs? Huh? Huh?
So nobody on
Do
the
you
East
want
Coast
that?
has worn long johns. Apparently not. Apparently no one is familiar with, like, thermal protection. Just, I don't know. I thought that's what y'all out here wore.
Seen, like, I've heard of long johns, but I don't know what they are. And also, like, I've never seen, heard, or have known anybody that's ever used them in my entire life. So this is a new concept.
You're sure? Like, okay.
Yes.
Images. Let me just get a picture of some long john. Something that's stream appropriate, obviously. Here we go. Here's some men's apparel, some long johns right here. It's this. It's underwear. See, it's got the fly in it and all that kind of stuff. It is underwear, not meant to be worn over anything. It's meant to go under your clothes, shirt and pants, that kind of stuff. They have more form-fitting stuff, more stuff like this with the. It's breathable, but it's also got little pockets in it. Not pockets, but when I say like the fabric has got a lot of different places where. What am I trying to say?
Put it somewhere?
Like if you, I put it. It's on the stream, so I guess when you look at the stream,
I'm looking at the stream. I don't see it.
well, it's gonna show up in a moment. You know, there's a way coming. Gonna put this in the staff chat, I guess, because that's where that's supposed to go, so you can see it sooner. Yeah, like this
Those are
is.
just pants.
They're not pants.
Yeah.
You do not wear these anywhere. Also,
Those are just pants.
they
That's
aren't
somebody
pants.
Wearing...
These are underwear, my guy. You would not wear these outside. Look at this.
Those are just pants. They're thin pants.
Okay, you're just being obstinate. That's not what they're for. You don't wear these
Okay,
outside.
question. So, okay, so it's a bit of a stupid question, but when you say pants, do you mean trousers, right?
Yeah, he means.
No.
Wait. Do you?
What?
No, he's talking about pants as in like outer pants. Because in the UK, they have pants is underwear. It's underneath the clothing. That's how they use the term. When we say pants, we mean just straight up like jeans or something like that, or slacks. So that's what he's talking about. But these are, I guess, in the UK definition, these are pants. In the way that
This is in the muties. Where you posting these in the muties?
I posted it in
And
Snapchat.
Snapchat.
Let me just copy this image real
They
quick.
just look like pants. Like they...
These are thermal underwear.
Let me just scroll up.
Put that away now. I don't want that
Snapchat,
on the
there we go.
screen.
Let's have a look.
I'm gonna put
I mean,
this in here too.
That's just nighttime underwear, really. There's nothing really much to it.
Yeah, they got the waffle thermal long john. They're long johns. That's what they're
Yeah,
called.
yeah.
You wear them, but you don't wear. You can wear them to bed, but you also wear them under your clothes when you go out on a particularly cold day, so that you can stay warm. Like warm, not like, oh, I'm wearing a jacket. The only part of my body that's warm is the center of it. You can keep your legs warm too. They keep your legs warm under your pants. That's what they're for. Especially if you're going to be outside for a long time or working outside or something like that. And they're breathable, so you don't sweat too much. Those same pockets that make it breathable, the little waffle pattern that they have, also captures heat so that you can stay warm. That's how they work. That's what I'm talking about when I'm talking about long johns, long underwear, or pants. But they're not regular pants. You would not put these on and go outside with these on. Even if you had a pair of underwear underneath them, they'd see that. People would be able to look through them practically. They're not for outer wear.
I mean, if you want to go like pseudo commando,
It's not commando if you're wearing underwear. Finish doing these feet. This is looking tragic right now. I need to fix this.
I don't know, man. I just view like underwear as like anything that like is just like it's around my waist and then goes like down my leg, but not like past my knee.
Well, that is a limited definition of underwear. And I guess it does fit. You can do that. But then by that definition, shorts are underwear. And it's like, no. It's meant to go underneath something, which is what my definition.
No, shorts aren't underwear shorts aren't underwear because shorts are going over the underwear.
Yeah, because they're outerwear. They're shorts, right? But
outerwear.
Long shorts,
Oh, yeah.
long johns are supposed to go underneath your pants. They don't go on the outside, unless you're living in that world from Split Infinity, which is reference.
It's like you're wearing like a. It's like you're wearing like two pairs of pants. That's what it would feel like to me.
It doesn't feel that way, and like I'm wearing some right now.
To not have my legs be open, to just be free.
All right. Now I think it's something that you'd have to experience in order to understand, and it's something that you clearly haven't had to do. So I get that. I'm not going to try to argue experience with people. That's a dead end. But I'm just saying that's what these are. That's what I was making reference to, and I think that's good. I think we're good. That's all I got to say.
This is an alien concept to me. It's like when you say bedclothes.
Yeah, well, I understand most people aren't familiar with the term bedclothes. I feel like that's something that maybe my parents invented, but that's kind of just something that's stuck. And that's what I call them, the sheets that go on your bed. I don't know.
I thought that was just like a Western term or something.
I don't know, man. I don't know. It's just, I'm sure it probably isn't, because you can just as easily say sheets in the West. The West folks like to say, they say bed sheets just as like anybody else does. I've just been calling them bedclothes because that's what I've heard before, and that's part of my lexicon.
So is your mattress like the sheet that, like, say you have like a foam mattress or something, and you got like the cover of your mattress, not like the sheets, but the cover. Is that your bed's underwear?
Wait. Oh no, PJ squared. We wear long johns here in Canada. Yeah, that makes perfect sense, Fractor. You live in a place where it's a little bit chilly.
I live in a cold place.
I have a pair of thermal pants. As thermal pants. They're like pajamas. Body heat. Okay. All these. I wear long johns. Those are literally what I have. Standard. It's standard because of how cold it gets. You're completely showing your.
Man, this is a weird kind of like. It's weird to me because I think like I live in a really cold area. Nobody I've ever known or I've ever heard of somebody wearing long johns or anything like that.
Like,
we York, just kind of like we suffer.
Upstate is like, to be fair, doesn't get as cold as certain parts of Canada. Like, it just doesn't. Like, Canada is further north; it gets way colder there. Like, I'm sure that dude's not living up there in the Arctic Circle or anything like that. Fractor isn't, but like, it does get way colder. I mean, you do have that lake effect stuff, but you never wear them out. Fell crowd of openness and stop mincing words, says that. Bruh! No snort. Hey, you guys have too much brandy or something? No, it's just this just sort of happens sometimes.
This is how it's been since like 2018. Don't even question it.
Yeah, there's nothing to question. It's just
What
us.
then?
The state of our discourse.
Because that's so weird to think we've been around since then. That's just so weird to me.
Yeah, we've been hanging out for a bit. Cashing in on all that Sonic fame, you know.
You guys call it donuts. I call it ring cakes.
All right. How'd it feel to be the one and only person who does that in the world? Look, I just wanted to be special, all right? Jeez, get off my back.
Just wanted to show my talent to the world. Oh,
To be honest, though, ring cake sounds pretty good.
Ring cake, but there are ring cakes,
It does
or
sound
like
good.
those those cakes that are like circles. Those aren't called ring cakes, but they are like those. I want to say bunt cake, but I'm not exactly sure of that. I looked up ring cake.
I mean, that's the thing about donuts too, though. They're not always rings.
Yeah, that's true.
Bagels are there.
It is actually called bunt cake. Okay. No, it's also known as ring cake. Okay. So, what I'm talking about.
Ring cake sounds like a euphemism from like Twitter or some shit.
It's not though. I think nobody like it seems to be a colloquial term because when I looked up ring cake, I found bunt cake. Let me just get the images. You see what I'm talking about. Little tour of my Google search. Oh.
We're gonna go through all these sweets. We're gonna go through all these sweets. We got cakes, donuts. We got caramel covering everything.
Oh, stop it! You're making me hungry.
I gotta get out of here.
You know, I learned about I learned about the entirely wrong people that call it caramel. I'm like, why?
caramel.
Yeah, that's just an abomination. Ring
just
cake.
people
Oh,
say
that
things.
looks like lime and blueberry ring. Oh, that looks nice. Marble ring. Oh. Mary. Oh, of course. There's a fucking Mary Berry one over here. Mary Berry ginger spicy ring cake. Best bun cake recipe. Spice. Squash ring cake.
But it's bunt cake.
Louisiana ring cake. That sounds like a euphemism. I'm about to give y'all the Louisiana ring cake if you know what I'm talking about.
I don't want to. Let's go ahead and avoid that topic forever.
All the chocolate holes look nice though. They look really nice, really decorative. The vegan.
Do you guys like cake? Do you guys like cake or pie?
I like both.
Why not both?
There's just
Yeah,
there's
I mean,
just no reason to deny myself one for the other.
Yeah,
I mean, cake is like. I mean, what do you prefer though?
I don't know. It depends on how I feel. This is one of those things where it's like it's conditional. Like if I want a nice warm sort of bread product, or not, but baked good. I mean to say, I'll go for a pie. You know, but cake is nice. I might actually eat more. I don't eat either a lot actually. I don't get a lot of sweets. Not because I'm against them. I just never really have the frame of mind to go and buy a cake. But like, I don't know. Like, I guess it really depends. If it's like I just want a warm thing, I will have a pie. If I want a nice, I guess a cold.
See
thing.
that's strange because like I think like a cake. I think like I don't know. Normally, whenever I eat cake, it's like I don't like traditional. Like you ever get like those? I mean, it's just something I think of when I think of cake because of my youth. But like, you think like store-bought cake. You get like that really thick, like gross.
That nasty thought, that nasty fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, I understand.
You are 18 years old. You are still a youth. Shut up.
No, I'm an old youth.
Let's see here.
Bruh, I am 25. From my perspective, you are still a youth. So shut up.
You're gonna say you're old until you're 12.
But you've never met each other. Wondering still now that we have this, I don't know, one day whenever. Besides, I suppose. At the first
Man.
Gamescom when we release Tales Adventure Armada, that's when we will meet up. Which has been...
You know, I'm gonna say it right here and now. It's an announcement. I was told about this inside like months ago. Before I stopped working on the project, everybody that downloads the demo for Tales of Adventure Armada gets a free wheat cake.
Alright, yeah, you can totally make that
It's a
assertion.
free what?
It won't happen.
Yeah, free what?
Weed?
A wheat cake. A wheat cake.
Wheat cake.
It's a wheat
Oh,
cake.
weed. You mean space cake?
No, it's a wheat cake.
I don't know
Okay,
what
are you
guys
saying
talking
we
about.
as in Nintendo Wii or weed?
I said wheat cake.
Wheat, as in wheat, right?
Oh, wheat.
The grain.
Yeah.
Ah.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I thought he said. I'm like, excuse me. Anything else won't make any sense.
I'm sorry you can't. I'm sorry you can't understand my New York.
Yes,
No,
sure.
I heard weed and I heard weed and I'm like, no, that's
This
just
is my
called
wheat
space cake.
No,
Tales
that'd be
Adventure
a pretty
Armada
sick
does
cake.
not
Like, you know,
condone
you know
the consumption of
you know,
wheat
like
cakes.
the cake cutting.
Can't possibly
You know, like the cake cutting like meme where you just take like objects and you slice them and it's all, oh, it's cake or whatever.
Right.
I'd love a wheat cake.
Of
Just
Nintendo
a
Wii.
It's just a wheat cake.
Alright.
That is disgusting and you know it.
What would it taste like?
Fondant.
What do you
Nothing
think
but
of wheat
fondant. Just
I
thick,
imagine
nasty,
it would
dry
taste like-
fondant.
I imagine it would taste like
Yeah.
soggy Weetabix.
Sounds bad.
Oh
What
man,
am I doing
I'm
with her
actually
feet?
gonna get
What am
PS5
I
delivered.
doing over
Oh,
here
man.
with her feet? This doesn't make any sense. Look
You
at this
know what?
reference image.
That'd be the best like
At that
practical
point,
prank.
if you're gonna offer me wheat cake, I'd like, mate, I'd take space cake over that.
What's space cake?
Okay, so it's more space brownies, but basically there is a bunch of brownies. One of them has weed in them. You have a chance of getting high.
Oh,
Just
had a Oh, okay. chocolate No, I got it, I got it, I got it.
Sounds delicious. Pie, sweet or savory? That's interesting.
It's
I
either
guess
that or
savory
you make
pies
it-
would be like what your chicken
you
pot
make
pies.
it-
stuff
no,
like that.
you know what?
I can go
My
with
life is more blunt. You call it space cakes. I just say, oh, it's a weed brownie.
That said, you can make so the entire batch of brownies, the entire batch,
Okay.
the entire batch of brownies has weed, but usually, traditionally, there's only one with weed in them. Unless you're a college student, in which case you usually have the entire bunch
Batch is,
of weed.
the whole batch is weed brownie.
Yeah,
It's my
But that's
brownie batch.
for space brownies.
I don't follow this down.
You learn something new every day.
That's a
folks.
choice.
But I'd rather take space cake over fucking wheat cake. Whatever that even means.
Yeah, what
I don't know what
what is that?
any of this is anymore. I feel like I've lost the thread of most of the conversation.
You know what I remember thinking about sweets? You guys ever get like
we started talking about friggin' what was it, Spider-Man? We went from Spider-Man to space cake. You do the mathematics.
no, Silver, and then we could go
prefer
from
not
wheat
to.
cake. Silver, we could go from wheat cakes back to Spider-Man because Aunt May makes wheat cakes in the comics and the video game. We can go back to that conversation.
Oh, you fucking nerd.
Oh goodness! Careful with the language.
Sorry, I keep forgetting you want to keep it PG-13 at the very least.
At the very least. Thank you.
Well,
Not trying
PG.
to curtail your ability to speak.
If it's PG-13, isn't he allowed like one singular F-bomb?
Already did it twice, so yeah, we're past that.
Times at this point, we're entering the 15 area.
Remember when we used to have a swear jar? What was that even for?
Well,
Oh, not for these streams.
Okay, what it was, I swore that much whenever Starlight beat me in TSR. We made up this thing where every time I swore, we put like, I think it was like $10 or like
Cents,
$5
right? It was pennies.
in every time I swore. And we never actually did anything with that. It just never really went anywhere.
No,
But
it was a quarter.
That was Starlight.
It was a quarter each swear.
Oh, right, a quarter. Yeah, okay, fair enough. What we should do is do swears for charity. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, we could do that.
Time you curse, you gotta put some money down to a charity.
Why not? Next year, whenever that thankfulness stuff goes off, it's just every time you swear, put $5 in the swear jar.
I'm gonna go ahead
It's
and
just
avoid that.
not like swears to charity. It's an organization about profanity
We swear
for
because
charity.
we care.
What if
No,
you did? try to play. What if we tried to play fucking? Oh, excuse my French. What? The irony. What if we try playing TSR or like one of us lot play like Sonic 06 and try to do it as many, complete the game or at least finish a portion of the game without swearing as much as possible?
Well, I've already got you beat. I never swore it once, but also I'd like to play that game again. That'd be fun. What if it was like a race to get through Sonic 06?
Oh no! No,
Wait,
Not possible?
Wait, a race for Sonic 06?
Yeah.
Why did we do the Forces race? We've been meaning to do that for like 2.5 years.
Hey, what
Wait,
race?
the Forces race. The Forces race
It'll
would
be over in 30
boring,
minutes,
though,
right?
because everybody would be at the exact same point.
Actually, you know what? I'm not good enough at that game to say that I would be. So like I started playing it again. I realized I remember now once I tried to play it again that you can't have multiple save files because I don't understand that at all. It makes no sense. But
Yeah, I feel that's like the first.
I had beaten it.
No, it's not the first, but it's one of the few Sonic games that don't allow you multiple save slots. I'm like, why?
Like they figured this
most
out
of
in
them
Sonic
don't.
3 and Knuckles. How come you couldn't do it here?
No, I think like the Sonic games that don't have multiple saves, I think 06 doesn't have multiple saves.
Because you're not gonna play the game more than once. I understand that.
No, Colors. What is it? Yeah, 06 doesn't have multiple saves. Unleashed doesn't have multiple saves. Generations doesn't have multiple saves. Lost most of them.
So I wonder if they're gonna keep that tradition going with Sonic Frontiers. They're like, nah.
No,
One save.
I reckon that's going to be a one save file. If it's a big ass game, like if it's going to be big and open world, yeah, no, it's only going to have one.
At this point, it's
like
not an
what?
oversight, right? Because it's not a hard thing to do to create save states in games. Like every game, pretty much modern game that isn't built around the idea of having a single save state. Like, I don't know what game that would be, but if like they didn't do it on purpose, like it seems to be something that they're just leaving out because they don't feel like doing it.
I mean, it could be like it could be like Resident Evil Revelations on the 3DS, where you get one save file for cartridge.
But it's a cartridge game. Oh yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's odd. It's just, I'm just gonna say it's odd to me. Maybe I don't understand.
I mean, it's pretty weird when Sonic Heroes can have 99 save files, but Sonic Forces has one.
I guess that game was like they wanted you to play through multiple times because that was how. No. That doesn't track. Never mind.
Yeah, I
forget what I was gonna
wish
say.
I wish every game was like Sonic Heroes and just was like, we have 99 save files. Why? Because we could.
Like Sonic,
they were some of those
Sonic, no, not
like,
Sonic. It was Spider-Man.
I wish
Spider-Man
every game
PS4
was
has
like
like a limited
Sonic
number of
Force.
save slots. Like, what is it, 14 or something like that? Not that, but
What game?
Sonic, Spider-Man's PS4 doesn't that have like a limited number of save slots, or am I?
Yeah, Spider-Man PS4 has I think like 6 save slots.
Yeah, and it's just
Like,
like there's got to be some reason why they do that, but I don't know what it is.
I mean, it's probably because they don't want to cover your. I guess it might be because I think of like save data, right?
Right.
Because like the save data in the game
It's
is
on your hard
different
drive.
from like your manual saves. Yeah.
You know, that's true. Because I guess if you just had infinite save states, you could just fill up the entire, I guess, the save storage capacity. Even though those things don't take up that much space, if your game is like Spider-Man, it probably is big.
You just fill up your entire freaking PS5 with Spider-Man saves.
And then, like, it causes like a cascading error where you can't open up anything else, so your game, like the console won't start because it can't access any of its other files because there's no free space. It's like so like you can't get into it, so you kind of lock yourself out of your own system, freaking it.
Hey, but what are all the individual saves? Like, if there was a PS5 filled with nothing but Spider-Man saves, what would all those saves be for?
What do you mean? Like, they would be whatever the player. Are you talking about what the player decided? Because I couldn't tell you that.
What do you imagine the player would decide? Like, I'm thinking.
I guess
like,
before boss fights or scenes that they wanted to
every single
revisit.
possible combination.
Like infinitely unknowable. You're a Puppet 25. Re-Revelation. Are you Revelation? Oh, that's sorry. Okay. Black Switch. Oh no. I'll just say. Sonic Forces has replay value with custom characters and SOS missions. You can't replay missions. They will
They're
will
they're
give
SOS.
save
What are SOS missions?
They're like pop up after you complete one after the other. It's basically. I reckon it was meant to be some sort of like daily routine thing where you unlock like special like equipment and crap.
No, yeah, I remember those, and they were stupid because if an SOS mission appears on a certain level that say you want to play for whatever reason, and you go to that level and it has an SOS over it, you have to complete or fail the SOS mission before you can go back into the level and then play it normally.
That's interesting. That's very interesting.
But in my galaxy with the friggin' meteorites.
But those were good though.
Look, I enjoyed that though. Doesn't count.
I never said it was bad. I'm just saying it's a bit like that.
Oh, right.
I'm thinking like what's it? Not Mario. Sonic Colors Ultimate has one save file when the Wii game had 7.
Sonic Colors.
Sonic Colors on the Wii had like 7 save slots. And then the Ultimate version doesn't have any save file selection. You get one save.
Oh, that's interesting, considering the system that they...
Make more.
What do you want us to do? Like, make games? For
thing that I find weird about it is that, like, the Ultimate version is built from a decompiled, like, file of the Wii game. So if it's just the Wii game decompiled, it's not like the source code. It's like a file of the Wii game that was decompiled and they put it back together to make the Ultimate port.
Right.
That means that the option for multiple saves was in the game, but they chose to take it out.
So, Destiny, I see that you used an A pose for Amy here. I am going to reference it for the length of her arms, but I'm going to basically just go and do a T pose. Just because it's a little bit easier for me to work with. All right, I just wanted to make that.
That doesn't change anything, really.
Not really, no. Let's see that. Too long.
It's like, Destiny, can I make it a T pose? No.
Oh no! I can't do anything now.
Destiny, can I make it into a Y pose? Because why not?
Yeah.
But yeah, no, that's fine.
Not cool. Yeah, no, I was just I guess informing, just like this is why I'm doing this, etc. What were you gonna say?
What are games that like you've played through that you wish had multiple save files that don't?
Tough question. Think about it like that. Just
like Breath of the Wild. Breath of the Wild doesn't like. I mean, Breath of the Wild has like infinite, I guess, save files, but also like not like dedicated slots.
Okay, so you're not talking about something like Breath of the Wild?
Yeah, I think Breath of the Wild works the same way Skyrim does.
How many polys so far? Well, let's take a look at that. I'm not sure. So, everything taken together. Let's just go and look at that. Not very many, though, because this is a low poly model. Like, all of my models are kind of low poly. Like, everything except... My statistics are up here at the top left. You can see how many vertices I'm using, and how many faces, which are the polygons. I go into tab, into edit mode. I currently have 770 faces in reality, because right now I'm using a subdivision surface modifier on the model, which allows for like the program to sort of interpret the shape of the character model, like how smooth they would be. If I turn that off, it looks significantly different. As you can see, it gets really like kind of hard. So not a lot, but when I go into object mode, it's counting the number of faces that would be there simulated by the subdivision surface, which is about 6,070. In the end, it'll probably have less than that ultimately, but yeah. So like in reality, 770 faces, but you know, with the subdivision surface, and when I apply it, ultimately, it'll be. Really, is that right? No, this is just the head, isn't it? Okay, never mind.
It's ahead of the game.
You ever think about the fact that Breath of the Wild was announced you ever think about the fact that the Breath of the Wild sequel was announced 2 years ago and we still don't know the title of that game?
I'm fine with that. like I understand. They're most like, look, they probably don't. That's probably what they're. Like I said before, that's probably what they're arguing about. Still, they're like, What are we gonna call it?
Yeah, right. Like because like we've seen gameplay that looks pretty far along.
This is in Blender 3.0 right now, and I would usually work in 2.9, and I think I might have even started in 2.9, but I recently downloaded 3.0. No, I started in 3.0 for this particular model, but I have started commissions before where I was like 2.9, and then I accidentally opened up the file in 3.0 without noticing it, and then I saved it, and then that made the file unopenable in the earlier version of Blender, so I'm like, oh shoot, I gotta go tell my client that they gotta download a new version of Blender, because this won't work with their thing anymore. It's important to keep track of versions with Blender. I think that the 3.0 series will be good about that though, because the big leap between 2.79 and 2.8, where you could not open any 2.8 file with 2.79, and it seems to be similar now because 2.9 and 2.8 don't open, can't open. They can open 3.0 file, but you can't do anything with them. Like the model will be there, but you won't be able to actually use the rig or anything else that would be parented to it. Like the data blocks just don't talk to each other like they're supposed to. But yeah, this is 3.0, and pretty. I'm just using it just to model right now. When it comes to animation and that kind of stuff, I might hand it over to Rocket Pow and just you'll have to download 3.0, or I can export it and try to make a rig in 3.0. There's no point. Anyway, what were you guys saying?
No, I was thinking like I was just randomly thinking about like spoilers in regards to like Spider-Man and stuff like that. And it makes me think like, when would you say when it comes to like a movie or something like that? Like when would you say like the right time to like when do you consider okay to start talking about spoilers like openly?
That's a good question. It depends on how many people watch the movie ultimately and how big a deal it was. I would give it about a month maybe until like, you know, it's like, look man, you're not ever gonna watch this movie, or maybe like, and you have to tell me.
Then you think about like right now in the weird case of like Spider-Man. Say Silver really wants to see the movie and hasn't seen it, but then his country goes into lockdown.
It doesn't have they don't have Disney Plus over there, do they? Do they?
No, I think they do.
I know it wasn't there like when it first came out. It didn't come out in the UK yet, but
they have to have Disney Plus in the UK
by now, right?
Stupid if they didn't.
I don't know. That really does suck. The only option that he would have would be to pirate it, and we do not condone piracy. That's why we're making everything in Blender. How the frick
do you even like? Because like, imagine being in that position where you are like, your country is about to go into lockdown, and you really want to see like a big Marvel movie. And spoilers are going around everywhere, and you're trying to avoid it, but then your country goes into lockdown. Do you just give up at that point?
Well, I think you don't give up. What you do is you go to Let Me Watch This with a Pirate Bay. Download that movie.
Because you don't have a choice anymore.
I have a choice. I did just say we don't condone piracy, and then I turned around and lied. But now that does suck. It's like one of those things where extenuating circumstances make. And it's really kind of difficult to deal with because, like, how often does something like that even happen? Where like the world is sort of like is different now. It just changed on you, and movies and other things are just not happening anymore. So, look, I'm sure they'll find a way. Like the Disney Corporation and Marvel and them, they will find a way to serve that market. They're like, okay, we're gonna release this film. Remember when they released Soul on like for free Disney Plus?
I mean, friggin' what's it?
Christmas.
Encanto.
Encanto just came out. That movie just came out, and now it's on Disney Plus. Like, I want to watch it. I like me a good musical. I haven't seen it yet, but it's like.
Is it a musical?
It's a musical, yes.
Okay.
And I'm hyped for that, but it's just like, it's so strange because that movie just came out in theaters.
Yeah, right, like a month ago.
Yeah, usually they let it wait for a few months, like
they usually wait until like around like
or
DVD
Black
sales.
Widow. Yeah, when the DVD's gonna hit, then you can watch it on Disney Plus for a little less money, or you can pay for it for $30. But I think they wanted to get people to come in on Christmas and watch it then, so that's why they released it early. And honestly, it's not in theaters where I live, so I'm definitely gonna watch it on Disney Plus.
It's not in really?
There might be some because I don't go to the same theater anymore. I have like a theater that's near my actual house, and then one that shows everything, but it's further away. Like it's in Silver Spring, and I've moved up to Rockville.
Okay.
So
yeah,
like,
okay.
it would be like an
how's
hour-long
your
train
theater-
ride to go see it, and I'm like, I'm not doing that.
Yeah, because I was about to be like, how does your theater show Spider-Man but not Encanto?
Well, easy. This one is a small theater. Only has like maybe 10 screens, maybe less than that actually. Probably about 8.
Okay.
It's got a relatively large screens, but it's like one of those dine-in theaters where you go in, you get a chair, and they got like you can buy food at the concession stand or have it delivered to your table, that kind of thing.
Real? Wait, a table? Wait, in a theater?
It's a table in your chair,
Yeah,
like
what?
it's a specially designed seat with like a little table.
Wait.
tray.
So it's not like a cup holder thing. It's
Oh,
a
no.
table.
I mean, it's the IPIC theater. And
That's so weird to me.
well, I don't know. It feels ritzy, but it's actually kind of cheap because they want you to buy
I just go to a
concessions.
Regal.
I have Regal where I live, but it's further away. Once again, there's a Regal IMAX. It's got big old IMAX screen and all that kind of stuff, but it's an hour away, so that movie better be something I'm watching with somebody else. But if I'm going to go by myself, I'm going to the IPS. Let me... of what their chairs look like. Here we go. I'm going to put this on the screen. This is not exactly what they all look like, because sometimes, like, they got the standard chairs. Copy this as well. Put it in the staff chat. So it belongs there. But these orange chairs are your premium seats. They've got like I think they recline. They may not, but anyway, they have little blinders and they've got a table, and you can order food.
Cute.
Yeah, and you can go with your date or whoever you're family with, and you just sort of, and they do recline. Yeah, they recline, and they've got like a little.
Oh my god, that's so cute.
You can order food from that table if you're sitting in a premium seat. I usually don't. I get a standard chair, which are the kind of greenish, really ugly color for that thing, but whatever. You don't see them in the dark. They don't recline, but you can still buy food at the concession stand and bring it to your chair, and just sort of
That's
sit
so
there and eat
cute.
it.
And
Yeah.
also convenient.
Yeah, it's
Like, you
very
go, like,
convenient.
because like I go to again like a Regal, and then you get like a big popcorn bucket, and you just have to set it on your freaking either your lap or a cup holder place.
Right. Not a cup holder. It's a little like it's not that big a table for the standard seats, but it's like of course you got your like little group seats where you and your person that you're sitting with can both sit at the same place. But
Yeah, right.
but
Like,
yeah,
any
like it's,
seats in a movie theater, and also any seats in a movie theater that aren't recliners in this day and age, you're doing something wrong.
they are, man. Once I got exposed to recliner seats, I don't want any other kind of chair.
Because it's just not comfortable to just sit there for 2 hours like straight up. Like,
Yeah, I like to lean back. I saw the Sonic movie at the AMC. It's a smaller theater, but it's like it had reclining chairs. That sold me on it. I'm just gonna sit back, lean back, and even then it doesn't really matter where you sit because you can lean back and look up at the screen in a different way. You don't have to be like craning your neck.
right?
So that's pretty cool. But whatever. I suffered through it. I went to see Spider-Man at the IPIC.
I mean, no matter what you do, if you're in the front row, you're screwed.
Yeah, I was in the second row, so like just like one from the front. And when I went to see Matrix, I was in the third, and I think third is pretty good for me.
How bad was it? Wait, how bad was it in the second row?
It wasn't that bad, but I did have to look up and then like look across the screen to follow the action sometimes, and that was a little bit.
that's annoying.
But I wasn't because I just wanted to go and see the movie, and I wanted to go out. It was like a 10:45 showing. It was just like everything was just.
You know what's arguably worse than that, though? Having
is
those
arguably?
theaters that have like surround screenings. You know what I'm talking about? Like the screen is like split into like 3 different parts, and you got like one in the front,
Oh, that
and then
sounds
2 screens on like different sides of the wall.
I don't like the sound of that at all. It sounds like a bad time, y'all.
Like imagine having a flat screen and then having like you know how like an octagon or a hexagon like sort of just like has like the top space is like a diagonal line, a straight line, and a diagonal line. Like you get that, like a top kind of look like that. That's what your screen is. It's separated into 3 different screens, and it goes across like 3 different walls.
I don't know. I'm not sold on that idea. But no.
That
So
sounds awful.
it does sound awful. So to answer your question, Mr. Quibby, the The price of the ticket for the standard seat is like $10 at base. It's like $10 base price. I think it's like $2 service charge, so like $12. And that's any movie you go to. Like, it doesn't matter, like, at all. But if you go and get the premium, it's like $19 for the seat. But you get like the table side service. You can order food directly there from your seat. They'll bring it out to you, put it on your tray for you, and you got like a nicer chair. But it's not that much, and I think it's a low price of the tickets to incentivize you buying things at the concession stand, because they serve actual food there. Like, I got like it's like a restaurant.
Wait, they serve real food?
Yeah, they do. Like, they serve. I got like a turkey wrap, a turkey avocado wrap or whatever. And
what?
And they just serve food there.
Why is their cheap theater so much better?
I don't know. I'm glad they're still open, because like they're the only theater near me, but it's but the food costs what it costs, right?
Why the hell? Oh, Regal is dumb.
Worse than Matrix 3, Matrix 4. Matrix 4 was odd. Like, you'll have to watch it. I'm not going to talk about it.
I have HBO. I have access to HBO.
Right, you can watch it on HBO. Yeah, you can see it there. It's like you find yourself wondering, why did they make this? And then they tell you why they made it, and you're like, oh, okay.
I mean, it's like Matrix, right? I've never really been big on Matrix. Is like one of those movie franchises where I look at it as like, that's a popular movie franchise. It's a good movie.
Matrix was a big deal when it came out, because if you were alive in 2000, which you weren't, 1999 actually, when the first one came out, it was a big deal. It was like the premier cyberpunk dystopian future movie. It was like asking the big questions or whatever. People really into its concepts, and they were, if you didn't watch anime or anything like that, pretty revolutionary. Like, if you've never seen any kind of, because it was heavily inspired by anime, the movie it was. I feel that. But of course, because I didn't watch anime, I didn't know that myself, and then I did. I'm like, oh, this is very Matrix. Oh, I see. But good movie, really exciting film. The special effects were unseen at the time, right? Nothing like it. The sequels got weirder, because I think they didn't expect to make sequels, very much like Kingdom Hearts. They're like, oh, what are we going to do now? Like, we told our story, we did our narrative, we were done, but...
I mean, if you're a movie franchise in the 80s or 90s, you made one movie, and then sequels happened.
Yeah, sequels happened, but they're often made by different people. Like, I really, really like Terminator 2. Like, once I saw it, like, that's a good movie. I still haven't seen the first one. And I almost don't want to, because I'm good.
Seen, like, here's the thing. I think of Terminator, I think of the second one. You don't think of the first one. You don't?
Yeah, you don't, because the first one's a straight-up horror movie about a robot from the future, and it's like, yeah, that's not a thing. I don't see Arnold Schwarzenegger as the villain in that series, because I have never seen the first one.
And then the sequel has the friggin' T-1000.
Yeah, the sequel has that T-1000, the revolutionary CG effects and that kind of stuff. Let's see.
And he's just so cool. I love seeing how committed the actor was to that role, and how his interview just involved him staring at the people and the judges in front of him for like 10 minutes straight without blinking.
You're lucky, very lucky. Oh, thank you. I like it. It's a nice place to go. Haven't seen much
I
before
love
yet.
the fact.
No, we're not going to talk about it.
I love the fact that like the friggin' why am I forgetting the name? Why am I forgetting the name of the friggin' actor of the T-1000? What was his name?
I don't know. You're talking about the guy who plays T-1000?
Yeah, T-1000, yeah.
I don't remember his name either. But
holy
he's in
crap!
things.
No, but yeah, no. I love the fact that like his when he auditioned for the role of the T-1000, he literally just walked up on stage and stared at the judges for like 10 minutes and didn't blink.
Robert Patrick is the name of the actor.
Yeah. Yeah, he just stared at them. And he got the role because the judges were scared of him.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, because they're like, oh, wow, this guy do it. Wait, is that right?
Yeah, and like the amount of training he did, like to like get into the headspace of a robot. Like every time he turned, he'd made it so that like he turned his head and then the rest of his body, and then like he made it so like he trained himself to fire a gun with not only both hands and be able to switch like at any point, but also learn how to like not blink while firing multiple rounds, because that's not what a robot would do.
I mean, like one of the pictures on his IMDb page is his role as Koga Shuko. from freaking Double Dragon. And, like, I don't know of anybody in this chat or on the world today who has seen Double Dragon.
I've heard of it and I've seen clips.
I remember watching that thing. Like, I used to play the game when I was a kid. Had it on my little Super Nintendo
Don't they have
system.
a Double Dragon arcade in the movie?
I think they might. I don't know if I recognize that, but it's supposed to take place in the future, so sure, whatever. But it's like, just seeing that, and then I saw the movie. We were at like a Walmart, I think. We were walking around. We saw it in the bargain bin, and then I'm all like, "We have to get this! Oh my god, it's Double Dragon!" Like freaking Double Dragon. Like it's not even a popular franchise.
I can't think of a legit like video game movie that I've actually watched outside of Sonic. Legit.
You haven't seen the
I
Super
just
Mario
thought of,
Brothers movie? Oh
no! Never mind. I saw the Mario Brothers movie. I forgot about that one somehow.
All right, Alex McGee on board with Double Dragon. Seen it.
I've seen the Mario movie and the Sonic movie. I think I haven't seen Mortal Kombat or
the Chun-Li, Street Fighter Chun-Li's thing. Yeah, I haven't seen most of those. Like, I've seen Mortal Kombat, I've seen Mario, I've seen the Sonic movie. Probably
the Mario movie. How do you feel about the Mario movie?
But I first wanted to see it, and then we were at Blockbuster, and my sisters were like, no, that looks like trash. I'm like, but it's got Mario and you got dinosaurs. I was a child, right? I was younger, the youngest in my family, right? I thought it was a great idea. I watched it, and I didn't hate it, because I was like, I don't get it, but all right, whatever. I don't know if I enjoyed it or not. I mean, it didn't make me angry, but then, of course, I was very critical of films.
I recently learned that woman that Mario tries to bite the necklace off of, like that lady or whatever, that's friggin' Big Bertha. Like, they turned that fish enemy in Mario 3 into that woman. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
Like, what?
I'd like to think, what do you think the new Mario movie is like? I think it's going to be standard elimination fare. It's going to be relatively inoffensive. It's going to have a bunch of big-name voice actors. Kind of like Sing, you know? Where it's like...
It's just going to be... It's going to be like your bog standard animated movie.
Right. It's going to be a cartoon. It's going to be not a cartoon, but like a comedy cartoon. Just a joke. Just a, ooh, yeah, Jack.
Yeah, but not even like a really solid one. Just like an
illumination film. They're never really solid. They just kind of exist. Like, maybe Sing was okay. I did watch it. The singing was fine, but the overall rest of it was whatever. Secret Life of Pets, maybe, on that level of it. But, you know, Despicable Me, the first one. I don't expect it to be all that interesting. I didn't expect Sonic movie to be interesting either, but it was just good enough to be par. And then that's what made it good, because they're like, wow, we expected you to completely drop the ball on this.
You know, I think about like
sold as an action film now.
I think about the fact that Sonic is going to have competition with Doctor Strange. Or no, it's not. That's in May. Never mind.
No, it won't. It'll be. I think Sonic movie will be fine in its slot. They have a lot more confidence. Wow, I gotta stop myself. I keep trying to make.
Like friggin' like. The Sonic movie, I'm definitely more excited for the Sonic movie than the Mario movie, but the Mario movie also doesn't have a trailer, but also it's an Illumination movie, but also the Sonic movie looks like it's more than bog standard, and it looks like it's at least like an interesting experience.
Yeah, that's the thing. I think the thing that is drawing me to the Sonic movie, even though we were talking about the Mario movie, we're talking about this now, what's drawing me to the Sonic movie is that it seems like they get it. Like, they're making it into an action comedy rather than just an Alvin and the Chipmunks standard, like, fish out of water story.
Even if they don't like they get it at least to a solid enough degree.
Yeah, like they seem like they're gonna treat the material with respect, and I feel like it'll probably be fine. Even if I don't like everything in it, I'm gonna like some parts of it. I think that's good enough. The Mario movie, until I see different, until they show it to be something else, which, you know, I imagine it's always possible that they could really get in there and make an interesting story, but Nintendo does have more control over this, and they're not really interested in telling stories with Nintendo, so I don't know. It'll be a Mario experience, I suppose, but it'll It'll be not offensive. It'll be very just. Here's Mario and his wacky little friends. Jordan Peele. Is it Jordan Peele as Toad? His crazy
no,
brother.
it's Keegan Michael
Key. I always get them mixed up, and that is no respect. No respect in Sega at times.
Freaking Kevin Michael Richardson is Kamek. Like what?
I never saw the Legend of Chun-Li PG squared.
Man,
I haven't seen that yet.
I think legit, like, anybody, like, anytime I look back to that Mario movie, like, cast announcement, it's gonna be something that is, like, it's not even a joke, but it's just funny to just experience.
Uh-oh. No, I feel like it's gonna, like, they'll do their jobs, right? I expect that those particular voice,
I think that movie's gonna thrive off of meme bucks.
Yeah, but not in a good way.
Oh no,
memes of him.
I'm not talking the movie's gonna be filled with memes. I think that movie's gonna sell itself because of the cast meme.
I mean, that was the point, right? It's very obvious that they wanted you to be thinking about the cast because that's what they could get. We're gonna have these kind of character tropes of brainy Peach because she's breaking away from the stereotype that Peach is stupid or something like that. We're gonna have like a what's the word I'm looking for? Like hysterical Luigi because of Charlie Day's performance. I'm certain.
I like that one. I like that one.
Which is fine because that's Luigi. He is kind of like that. Mario's gonna be, I don't know, cool guy, kind of maybe like Emmett from Lego movies, what I can imagine. Bowser's rock and roll dad because he's Jack Black. They're gonna go for what they did with Poe almost.
That's good.
Maybe he's trying to connect with Baby Bowser. Baby Bowser's not in the movie though. I don't think so.
Bowser's either gonna be really funny or really, really boring.
I can't imagine Jack Black doing a boring character though. I don't think he would do that.
It's just
I can't see him as being boring.
You're not working with like Kung Fu Panda levels of writing though. You gotta remember
You're
that.
Not. But even in Nacho Libre, he had some charm. We'll see, man.
Like, I think like my favorite casting is either Jack Black as Bowser or Charlie Day as Luigi, because Charlie Day as Luigi is different because you usually think of Luigi being like really scared all the time, but like Charlie Day might add like a level of like
mania.
Yeah.
He'll be manic and scared all the time. All right, fine. I mean, I think that could be funny. I could dig it, if they do it right. But once again, they'll have to do it right.
I hope Mario, in the Mario angle, if you're writing Mario in a Mario movie, I treat Luigi as like a soft audience POV character, and then Mario's like headstrong, but at the point where he's ridiculous. Like, he's just heading into danger, completely negligent to the fact that anything he's doing is crazy.
Maybe that's the story. Maybe that is exactly the character arc that we can expect from this film. Mario, you gotta slow down and pay attention to what's going on. Don't be so headstrong, Mario. And Mario's all like, yeah, I can understand where you're coming, whatever.
It's probably going to be a movie about Mario going to the Mushroom Kingdom and then being like, I want to do something important. I want to be a hero. A hero. And they're going to repeat that.
Oh. Yeah? I don't not see that. Yeah, Mario's the tryhard. He's going to be like, I want to be a real hero.
And then,
like my hero Mario.
And then Bowser's going to I don't know, beat him up or something and be like, you'll never be a hero.
Oh, my hero, Jumpman. That's what he wants to be like. That's Dan Castellaneta's character. No, not, I'm sorry. What's the guy name, the person who plays?
Charles Martinet?
Charles Martinet. I keep saying the other guy. I don't know what's wrong with me. Charles Martinet.
Yeah, Jumpman's going to be like a comic, and they're going to make like an MCU parody of it.
It's going to be like, so don't meet your heroes. Charles Martinet is going to be the villain, even though Bowser's in the story. He's like, well, I abused the monkey for years. But I don't know. I'm making things up. I'm just talking out of my rear.
Yeah, they're gonna have like a bunch of moments where you got Mario going up to Bowser, and it's like, you don't have to be the bad guy.
Oh goodness, you're a bad guy, but you're not a bad guy. Make a bunch of Wreck-It Ralph references, completely apropos of nothing, and illegally, as far as I know. Oh goodness.
Oh man, there's gonna be an MCU reference in the Mario movie. I'm calling it.
I hope they don't do that, but I can't tell you it won't happen. Right,
Like, the fact that you even need to bother with an MCU reference in a Mario movie shows that you have weird priorities or competence. Like, what are you doing? You think Mario needs to do a Marvel reference
I don't think they're
to
actually
be
going to do that.
recognizable?
Mario is one of the most recognizable properties out there, like, in the world. Mario doesn't need any kind of publicity. Mario's gonna make a game and people are gonna buy it because it's Mario. I know I will.
You know, we're almost due for a new Mario movie. Imagine, or not a new Mario movie, a Mario game. So we get a Mario game that's like based on the movie, and we get like a licensed tie-in.
Seems like something that Nintendo almost would probably not do, like ever. Like that doesn't seem like them. First of all, Nintendo doesn't like basing anything they do off of anything anyone else does ever. That's just not their style. Like they're like, oh, we didn't know that you did that too. That's interesting.
Whether it's a great or horrible idea, they'll be different.
It's gonna be our thing at all times, and I gotta respect that. Let's see here. Oh, you're asking. I see. No worries, PJ Squared. I will respond to most things, and sometimes I'll just be wrong. Let's see.
Rotalus cast Yoshi in the Mario movie.
What, Cat Yoshi or just Yoshi? Cast
No,
Yoshi.
cast Yoshi.
Well,
yeah.
If anyone knows what they're doing, they won't cast any person as Yoshi. Yoshi doesn't talk. Yoshi just says Yoshi.
No, but he needs to talk. He needs to talk.
But he's already been. What'd you say?
He needs to talk.
Why? So the kids will like him?
No. So you can get He needs to talk, so you can get that name on that poster. What name are you gonna put on that poster?
Salma Hayek. Yoshi. That's right. We're going in a bold direction. Yoshi is female.
No, Scarlett Johansson.
Scarlett Johansson. Much like she played Ka to no effect. That's so weird. Like, she can sing. She did sing the song at the end, but they just didn't have it in the movie. It's like, what is wrong with all of you? I was kind of annoyed by that. I'm like, well, why even cast her? Oh, it's because Jon Favreau knows her? Is that the reason?
No! Jon Favreau as Yoshi!
Jon Favreau is Yoshi, but doing like a happy voice. Like he's doing happy as Yoshi.
Yup.
Oh, Happy Hogan. And Mario. You got like 2 calls on the phone. You gotta pick up the phone, Mario. Anyway, I don't know. I can't do a Jon Favreau voice. People don't like 2D animation anymore, Mario.
And the whole joke will be that Yoshi talks the most like proper English, or like the most English out of anybody, and everybody expects him to just like be Yoshi, and then they're gonna have jokes about stereotypes.
The funniest thing about that concept is imagining that they would even go so far as to make the characters talk like they do in any game. So they hired Chris Pratt, but he doesn't complete full sentences. He's just going on like, woohoo! Let's go! You know, that's it. And it's just like, why did you hire him for that? You could have hired anyone or no one for that.
I mean, they already said that they're not doing a traditional Mario voice for Chris Pratt's Mario.
No, and as well they shouldn't, because first of all, that would be stupid sounding. There's just no way to make that sound good with someone who isn't Charles Martinet.
Do a Mario voice.
Huh?
I mean, maybe Chris Pratt could do a Mario voice.
Hey, it's me, Mario. I don't think so. It's not that Chris Pratt is not a good actor. It's just that just doesn't sound like him. I don't think I would be happy with it. Maybe that's just me projecting my feelings on it. Of course I am. We're talking about
Just
it
the
right
idea
now.
of Mario just sounding like Chris Pratt is just wrong.
I know, but also I can't see them like any way other than doing that, and that's the only good way to do it.
Give him a Super Mario Brothers Super Show like Brooklyn
Hey there,
accent.
paisanos! It's the Super Mario Super Show!
Hey, Luigi!
That's a stone, Luigi. You didn't make that. Swing your arms from side to side. It's not supposed to be that much of a...
Like, that'd be great. That'd be great. No, you know what? They're gonna have Mario doing like a workout routine, and he's gonna be dancing to that show specifically. And he's gonna try to get Luigi to work out, and Luigi just walks out of the shower with his coffee.
This is not good for my blood pressure, Mario. Oh my god!
Summon to Mario!
Mario! Stop playing into Italian American stereotypes. Listen here, real quick. Making a mistake here. Oh, Amy shoot, Amy boot.
Want Luigi to get involved in a money laundering scheme?
Oh.
Like,
The meme of Chris Pratt and actors painted over to be Mario and Yoshi. Quite funny. Wait, they've come full circle. How and in what way?
maybe that's who Charles Martinet is playing. He's playing Yoshi.
He's playing Yoshi. They say he's gonna come in. I feel like he's either gonna be like a Zordon figure where he's just all like, "It's me, the previous Mario." That's right, Mario's a mantle. Anyone can be Mario. Whatever.
See, the weird thing is we don't even know what the movie is going to be about, so it might be something like Mario goes into the real world.
I don't want to see that. Hate that idea. You need to take that thought out of my head now. I don't want it there. Oh yeah, it is.
Oh no! It's animated, but it's like a hybrid animated movie where like the movie is live action, but Mario gets like realistic textures, but still being a cartoon character.
Wow, you're giving me gas with these suggestions. That way you got the big fat.
I want to be a hero, just like Captain America and Iron Man
and Mario. I'm not sure how I'm gonna do the rest of the shoe, but that's how it's gonna start off. That's where we're gonna go with that. And we're looking pretty good.
I want to be a hero.
204?
I want to be a hero just like Star-Lord.
Just like Star-Lord. My hero Star-Lord from the Marvel comics. You know, that thing that you don't have? Yeah, I hope it's not... You know, it'd be like weird if it was actually like a reverse fish out of water where he's from our world. Which is a thing that happened in some canons, I guess. I guess the show, right? Where he's from New York, but he goes to the Mushroom Kingdom. Which I would find more acceptable, at least, because it's not regular world stuff. And then you can at least have an excuse for his voice sounding like that.
Oh my god! I hope they do like a Mario Super Show, where he's played by like Chris Pratt and Charlie Day in real life, wearing like Mario outfits in a plumbing area in like Brooklyn or something.
Over to the cartoon version of them.
Yeah,
just opens up like that actually might be kind of funny. Marvel Studios Super Mario. Marvel Studios. Bum, 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 bum. Bum, 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 bum. I can't do it. I can't
have like
thing.
No, and they still they do like the Mario Super Show thing where you have Charlie Day and Chris Pratt in costume, everything, in like a plumbing business or like their little house, but they have like the Mario music in the background with like the sound effects and everything, and they have the laugh track.
Yeah. Hooked on the brothers. The brothers just opens up. That would actually kind of win some of my respect if that's how they open the film.
That's the opening of the movie. Yeah.
Hooked on the brothers.
Like trying to come up with the theme song for branding.
Hooked on the brothers. Like, what does it have to do with plumbing? Don't worry about it. People will like it.
No, I thought, you know, people like dance moves.
Nobody knows what it means. It's provocative. Get people going.
No, you got to do it like the Chris Pratt way, because he's just gonna be playing Chris Pratt. It's gonna be like,
he's gonna be Chris Pratt.
Yeah.
People like dance moves. You gotta feel it.
It's a dance-off. That's how he's gonna beat Bowser in the end.
Trying to create an image. I'm trying to. Oh man. You know that you know what? If that's how the movie opened up, that's actually pretty great.
No, I would think that was bold of them to just make that decision. Like, look, man, we're gonna just pander to the nostalgia of like the 5 people in the room who watched the Super Mario Brothers Super Show. That's it. We were gonna do the regular meme garbage that we usually do over here at Illumination. No, we're better than that. We are more than that.
You know, I just thought about it. We don't know the title of the Super Mario Brothers movie, so hear me out. You just see Chris Pratt and Luigi sitting at a table in the kitchen. And they're like, "Are you ready?" "Yeah, I'm ready." And then they turn the camera, and it's Daisy holding a flamethrower.
It's like it's a continuation of the old Super Mario movie.
Oh my gosh.
That would actually be kind of funny. You'd be like, oh, okay. Returning to the Mushroom Kingdom, and now it's an animated film, though. But it'd be so weird to see not Bob Hoskins and John Leguizamo.
King Koopa died years ago. Now we're dealing with Bowser.
His son, Bowser. King Koopa and Bowser aren't they one and the same? They're the same character.
No,
right?
this is Bowser, but like
I know in that,
he has,
in
like,
that
a
movie
President
world, yeah, it's
Junior.
different. I'm a turtle, as you've seen, a little slow and a little green, but on the whole, I'd say Super Koopa.
Oh man, can you imagine? Like friggin' the Mario movie, Super Mario Brothers 2.
Mario Brothers. The Luigi Boogaloo.
Oh man, that
Oops.
I would love the Super Mario Brothers Super Show opening though. That'd be great.
Yeah, no, just like the music would just.
Oh no, and then like the transition shot is a reference to the Mario movie, like the first one. And they go through like a trippy, like weird.
Oh, by that weird, stupid
dimension.
MS Paint background. What if they survived?
Yeah.
What if they came back? Yeah, that thing. But
You know what? I would love that if Luigi was just going on about like random theories that he read in like the newspaper. It's like, what if humans like evolved?
Oh,
from
so he was
dinosaurs?
like,
we're all like weird dinosaur people.
so he's like John Leguizamo's Luigi instead of. I guess he would be reprising, but continuing his role. But Charles, I think that won't happen because Nintendo does not like that movie.
This is the assumption that the Mario movie is like its own movie, right? And we go like the Mario Brothers Super Show opening. Mario's trying to create like the Mario like move for like branding or whatever for the plumbing service, and Luigi's just going off about weird conspiracy theories about people evolving from dinosaurs and crap.
Right. No, that's kind of what Luigi was. You saw the Mario movie, right?
Yeah.
He was into all that kind of stuff. That's what I thought.
Oh, right.
The Rush Adventure music is awesome. I'm sorry, Alex, but it's what's on the playlist right now. You can get your own stream. No.
What do you think? Like, okay, legit. If this like version of the Mario movie that would never happen in our minds is what actually ends up happening, I think that'd be pretty great.
Be funny because Nintendo kind of stopped making any kind of films with anybody after that movie came out. They're like, we're not doing this ever again. And so this being their return would be like them reneging on that for some reason. Like, you know what? It wasn't so
It's
bad.
like if after Sonic 06, Sega stopped making Sonic games.
Yeah, just stopped making Sonic games, and then they came back, made another Sonic game, and it was like a reboot of Sonic 06. Like, they're like, we want another try, okay? We had some good ideas there, just never got to see the light of day. You know you'll hate it.
Oh man.
This time you'll like it.
What? Like, okay, in this hypothetical area, so okay, Mario goes to the Mushroom Kingdom after going to like the trippy dimension or whatever, and Luigi goes in with him. What do you think happens at this point? Like, how are we going to introduce like the other characters in this better version of the movie that's not happening?
I don't know. Either you'd go the route that you did before, where you just bring up characters like Big Bertha and just be like, this is who this is now, and it's like it's Keegan Michael Key, but he's, or is it Jordan? The guy who plays Toad, but he's actually just Toad. Just a man.
It's like Carly
He's
Day
just
as
a
Luigi
man.
just goes up. Like they find Big Bertha as like an assistant or whatever. It's like I thought you'd be more, I don't know, human.
Like, I don't know what would give you that idea. I'm a fish. Let's see, what time? Oh, it's 2:11. Oh boy, I said I was going to do a 2-hour stream today. I've gone a little bit over, but we're making good progress here. I'm probably going to work on this now that I have time, more or less throughout the week. Going to work on Amy a little bit more. Get her hands, do her little dress there, create all that kind of stuff. But this is what we have for Amy so far. Yeah. Thank you everyone for coming. It's been lots of fun. I gotta go. I'm kind of doing this kind of abruptly here. Thank you all for coming out, and feel free to drop by our Discord and whatnot, say hi, yeah. But for real though, it's been fun. Thanks for everyone coming out. Destiny and Jinxed and the guy Silver for the time he was there, and Cryo. Thank you everybody for engaging with us in the chat. We'll catch you later at a later time. I've been Rodolus, and you've been wonderful.
Goodbye.
Bye.